our choices without blaming someone else. Hmm. And I know people are going to be like, well, it's about holding each other accountable. It's not about holding each other accountable. It's about you as an individual. You, the choices that you made. Can you accept the consequences of every choice that you have possibly made without trying to blame someone else? You ain't never lying, Dave. It would be nice if everybody could, but we can't. We don't. We have the tendency as who we are to blame people for choices that we make. And we don't accept the consequences. First of all, it is a choice that I've made. And I can't blame someone, especially like dealing with someone. You in a relationship with somebody and you chose to be with this person, but yet this person start doing certain things that happens, and now you want to be mad at them, but you chose that person. Accept it. Accept it. Good morning. What's up, Miss V? What's going on, sis? We don't want to accept it. We want to play the blame game. And the thing that I have a problem with is when you have people trying to tell you about relationships, they don't want to tell you about this part. They always want to put the blame on someone else. And I'm starting to realize that all these so-called coaches and all these men and women that out here talking about relationships, they never sit. They always make it seem like it's one person's fault, but it's not. It is one person. It's the person that chose that person. You chose to deal with this person. You have to suffer the consequences of your own actions, not somebody else's. But these are things that they're not truly teaching. They don't want to. They don't want to teach you that. They want you to. They want to teach you that it's someone else's fault. That everything that you're doing is correct, but it's their fault for their actions. No, it is your fault for the choices you make. Every choice that I've made has been my fault. I can't blame no woman for anything. I'm not going to sit here and try to put the blame for the choices that I've made. I have to suffer these consequences myself. They were mine. Can I accept them? I should be able to, yes. Do people truly want to accept these consequences? No, they do not. No, they do not. They want to blame others. But you want to get in these relationships and you want to do all these things, but at the end of the day, it's like, am I at fault for the women for the women that I chose, or is it their fault for the way that they were acting? I can't believe I can't believe I'm with someone and she's acting this way. I can't believe I'm with this man and he's acting this way. Believe it, because you chose to be with that person. You can't get mad at somebody for how. See, this is the thing of when I say people walk into these relationships and thinking that they know the person, but we truly have to fully get to know them, like fully get to know them, and at the same time we have to ask ourselves, can I deal with the person that I'm with? Not just knowing. I see. The thing is, we know just enough to like the person. We know just enough to want to be with them, but do we truly know the person that we're with? Because let's keep it real. A lot of us don't come and tell the person who we truly are. We fabricate, we stretch some of the truth about ourselves. I like what you just said there, brother. We are all beautifully broken. You ain't never lying. We're at a time right now where we don't even take the time out to truly get to know the person. Like let's go back into. I'm gonna go back because we're at a fast pace. Marriages have become faster. Dating has become faster. Dating has changed. There's no men are not even courting women anymore. Women are not truly women that don't really know what it is to be a wife, and men don't even know what to be a husband. I was never taught to be a husband. It's like some women can say I was taught to be a wife. That's like I said yesterday. A lot of times people always want to use that phrase, he who finds a wife, but I can't find a wife if I haven't found out who I am as a man yet. You know what I'm saying? And she's not ready to be my wife, but she's not ready to be a wife because she was never taught how to be a wife, nor was she's able to stand up to become a wife. So how can I find something that's still lost? How am I looking for something or trying to find someone that's still lost? But these are things that some of these so-called coaches ain't teaching y'all. They not telling y'all this. They're telling you all the fabrications about what relationships are and how it's supposed to be. But let's be real. If everybody want to be biblical, let's go biblical. When they say he who finds a wife, first of all, I have to be put in a certain situation as a man. I have to structure myself as a man to become a husband to find the woman for me. That doesn't mean just go out there and find any woman. Oh, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. No, and show and gets fit. No, no, because some of us are out there looking for women and finding these women and dealing with the wrong type of women, but yet they don't want to deal with the consequences of the action. See, that's the problem I have. I chose this type of woman to be with, but now I don't. Now it's her fault. It's her fault. This is why it's going. It's her fault. The reason why things ain't working out. But meanwhile, this is the woman that I chose. So the question is, once again, can we accept the consequences of our choices without blaming someone else? We always have the blame bag. We are quick to point the finger. We are quick to blame somebody for all of our actions, for all the things that happened to me. It's never my fault. But you have to understand this. How did the situation that you put yourself in makes it your fault? I put myself in this situation, but I can't believe that he did this. Now, mind you, knowing that here it is, you're a woman dealing with a felon, knowing he's a felon. So he robs and takes money from you, but you want to get mad at him. No, get mad at yourself because you already knew the type of man he was before you met him. Same thing with these dudes. You know she's a three. You know she's out there and she's been sleeping around, but yet you're trying to turn her into a housewife, knowing that this woman her actions, all these things, Thank you, babe. But we want to get mad and we want to get upset at the choices that we make of the people that we deal with. Why? Why am I getting upset? Why is it her fault that things ain't going right? Maybe as a man, we need to open our eyes and be like, you know what? If I'm supposed to be the so-called leader, but yet my relationship ain't good morning, Tiff. If I'm supposed to be a so-called leader as a man, but my relationship ain't going the way it's supposed to go, is it her fault or is it my fault? But we want to look down on her and want to blame her. I can't believe I'm with this woman. She ain't doing nothing. You know why she ain't doing nothing? Because you're not doing anything. The moment you start complaining about somebody that you with, you need to walk away. If I'm complaining about a woman as a man, but yet I'm still with this woman, then I need to walk away from that woman because guess what? It's not that she doesn't hold no value. I, as a man, sometimes we need to hold ourselves accountable and walk away from relationships that we're in. Ooh, sometimes we need to walk away. And I'm not saying walk away because it's something that they did. We need to walk away because of the things that we're doing. I'm not doing right in this relationship. Maybe I need to walk away. But we will stick around and try to stay and try to fix something that's already broken. But how can I fix? See, the problem I have is I can't be with someone and be broken and then trying to fix me. Meanwhile, still trying to be in that relationship because it's making the relationship worse. Because now what I'm doing, I'm putting too much on that woman. We don't realize that. See, a lot of men don't think that way. And vice versa with women. Sometimes some of your women ain't straight, but yet you want to stay in a relationship. Meanwhile, you're talking about you trying to heal, you trying to fix yourself. First of all, if I want to fix myself, I need to be by myself. And when I say by myself, I mean completely by myself. What's up, Quincy? Which means at the end of the day, I should not be involved with nobody but me, myself, and God. Period. I need to fix me. I need to work on me. I can't be working on me and working on a relationship at the same time. It doesn't work. That's called friction. Yes, women too. I'm saying for both, for men and women. It's friction. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to be satisfied. It's too much work that you are putting in to try to make a relationship work. Meanwhile, you're trying to work on yourself. Doesn't happen. Because what's going to happen is somewhere along the line, you're going to wind up blaming that person. I can't never get right. It's always you. Think about it like that. How many times have we sit there and we keep blaming people? I can't do this because it's your fault. Why everything got to be somebody else's fault but your own? Everything is always somebody else's fault but your own. Shouldn't you be like, it's my fault for even being with you? It's my fault for not seeing the type of person that I'm dealing with. It's my fault. What's up, Allie? It's my fault for walking into this relationship blindfolded or booty blinded, or I'm blinded by the man because he got a big Johnson, or I'm blinded because all the stuff that he can do for me. I'm blinded because all the stuff that this woman is doing. Come on, man. Come on, y'all. Let's get these likes up to 5K. Respectfully. We don't want to take blame for nothing. but we quick to blame somebody else. And the only time we take blame is when we get caught. So now that I got caught up in my lies, I got caught up in whatever the case. Now I want to hold myself accountable. You know what? You're right. It is my fault. I'm sorry. See, if you learn how to hold yourself, if you learn how to take on your own consequences, you don't have to be sorry. You don't have to apologize. But see, that's where the apologies comes in, when we know that we already got caught from the nonsense. But if you don't do it, guess what? You ain't got to worry about apologizing. Ladies and gentlemen, the platform is open. If you want to come up, by all means. If you feel like you want to have this conversation, what's up, D? Y'all can request that. Oh, it's Nike Day today?
That's what it is today. That's what it is. We don't argue with uniformity.
That's it. It's Nike Day today. Yes, ladies can come up too. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an open panel. Ladies and gentlemen, all is welcome today.
Yes, the day is the day that you ladies come on in. Wednesday is also the day that you come on in. Friday is not the day.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, sisters. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for joining. So, you know the question this morning: can we accept the consequences of our choices without blaming someone else?
Yes, I had to do that. I had to do that after divorce. You know, it was my husband did this, my husband did that. But I had to take a look at that woman in the mirror. And I had to be able to say out loud, I am the problem.
Can you say that again, please? Can you repeat that?
I had to take accountability. I had to look at myself in the mirror and say that I am the problem. And it was so hard to do. It was very hard to do, but it had to be done. But it changed everything for me.
Look at my beautiful sister, Allie, in the building. What's up, mama? Listen.
Good morning, my beautiful people. My good brother. How you doing?
I'm amazing. It's good to see your face.
Thank you so much. Good to see yours. I said I'm gonna scare some folks today and come up on camera.
Scare them. Listen, first of all, I love when black women come on camera. Miss VB doing it.
I must say this. You're doing a horrible job of frightening people, because let me tell you, that's not what you're doing.
Oh, you are such a sweetheart. Thank you so much.
You might be enticing to people. So just,
oh my gosh. Oh wow.
If your DM get open, don't look at me. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying.
No, first of all, my sister's happily married to my brother.
I understand that completely. I'm just saying.
I'm just letting all the other hyenas know.
No, her words were, I came on camera to frighten some people.
Well, she about to frighten them verbally.
That's not a frightening face. Let's put it out there. That's not a frightening face.
So let's do this.
Well, I appreciate you for saying that, my brother, because it's so funny. My husband and I were in the kitchen this morning. He was moving slow. I was moving slow. And I was like, we old.
No, that's called enjoying life. See, the problem, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I love that you said that, because for the simple fact is even in relationships and in the choices that we make, we move too fast. And we're not taking the time out to understand the choices that we're making. Then we don't want to deal with the consequences of the choice that we made, because we have been moving too fast. Same thing in these relationships, a lot of these marriages, people dating situations, all of these things. We are moving at a pace right now where it's like it's I don't even get to know the person as much as I really need to get to know them. I know just enough to be satisfied. I know just enough that I'm okay to deal with this person, but am I really okay to deal with them? Because now, when things start to slow down, because you're no longer moving fast, and now you start to see this person starting to do certain habits, of doing certain things that you don't get, that you're not aligned with. Now you want to get mad and want to blame them.
Well, it's not so much a mask. It's just been there.
Exactly.
You outpaced yourself. And it was funny because just yesterday I was telling people, I'm like, we got to slow down. The slowing down part is it's more for you than actually them, And the thing with it is particularly in our age groups, we come from that era where everything had a process. Like, let's not act like a big Willie summer. We didn't have to wait for it the next summer, right?
Right.
Independence Day, it was the next year we got Men in Black. We had to wait for these things, right? And I said, that's where we come from. We come from that poise, that patience, that thing. But I've also credited the fact that, hey, because we've gotten so many things popcornish, like, we got out of sync. So now the expectations that we have amongst one another is so unfair because I get everything else instantaneous.
Right. So why can I have this now? And then like even for me, like feelings, when some feelings come, it's like a lot of things you become oblivious to. Because you don't allow feelings to get in, but feelings aren't facts. So you have to be able to have the feelings, but still understand the reality of what it is, being able to see a person for who they truly are, regardless of your feelings.
But that's the problem is.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, sister.
I just want to add this real quick, and I'm not going to stay up too long. I really believe that, especially in our community, because I can't speak to any other community, but it's almost like, as far as relationships in connecting with people, we have these relationship AB, I call them a relationship AB clinics. You know what I'm talking about when I say AB? Constantly throwing the baby out with the bathwater. All the time, we're constantly throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And I heard somebody just a few seconds ago, when you're getting to know people and stuff, you start to see things that's not part of the initial sparks and all that stuff. Okay, let me throw that out with the bathwater. But you're gonna meet somebody else. That same thing might get on your nerves. But we just recycle people. I mean, it's like people have lost so much value in not just relationships, just human beings. We stopped doing that. We're not valuing people, so we got to stop throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because it doesn't get easier when you get married.
But actually, the funny part is this: it should get better. But
Yes.
but I see this right now is when it comes to feelings, people right now, because of the pace the way we're going, we already put our feelings first. I met you. Here it is. I'm already liking you within a week or two. Here it is now within a month. I'm already in love with you, and now I'm upset. Like, how do you love me in a month? You don't even know me that well.
That's good.
But it's the truth. We're moving. That's what I'm saying. The pace that we are moving in right now. And I'm talking about even us, some of these grown adults, 35 and over. You're moving too fast. You're moving way too fast, and then you don't want to deal with the consequences later.
Right.
And that's the problem that we're having right now. But people don't want to face it because they want to listen to all these other knuckleheads telling them, well, the man this, the man that, the man this. I'm not going to feed you no bull crap like that. I'm going to tell you straight up. You, men and women, something wrong with y'all. Slow your asses down. Excuse my language. Slow down. Pace yourself. Matter of fact, when you go out, put your phone down. Leave your phones in the car. What happened with people holding hands? What happened with people having real conversation? You can't even have a 5 or 10 minute conversation with nobody no more before they have to pick up their phone and do certain things to it. What happened to that? What happened to going out to the park, taking long walks?
Right.
What happened with picking up the phone to be able to dial your number and talk to you? Hey, how you doing? People attention, right now, our attention span is so short with one another. It's crazy work. It's the truth. Our attention span right now has become so short that we are glued to our phones. But we don't want to take accountability. We don't want to hold ourselves for the choices that we make. Suffering all these things because why? The moment something goes wrong, I got to pick up my phone and call somebody. I want to ignore somebody. I'm being on my phone. There are so many problems in marriages. So many problems with these so-called relationships that people are trying to build because of what? Because of social media. They want to blame social media. I'm not going to blame social media. Blame yourself for being on social media, knowing that you are in a relationship with somebody or you're trying to build with somebody. I can't even build with you because of the simple fact is why I can't build, because you're too busy trying to build something else. What happened when we used to go on dates and have fun? Now I'm going on a date, you got to take pictures. You want to take pictures of all of, like, come on. When did this stuff started happening? And don't get me wrong, if I'm with my wife, I'm taking a picture of her. She's taking a picture of me. We take a picture together. That's different. But I'm talking about you going on a whole date, and as soon as your date leaves the table, you taking solo pictures like you ain't even with the dude, or you ain't even with her. And I see a lot of women, more women do it than men do it.
Now that's crazy work.
But then you want to get mad at this man for him treating you, or him talking to you, or him moving in a certain type of light. You created the narrative.
I got to jump down. Thank you so much, my good brother, for having me up.
Always a pleasure.
I followed you, Allie.
Okay, I will follow you back, and I'll just say this one last thing. We only find value and give our attention to what we find value in. If not find value in a human being, you're not going to invest. You're not going to be wholesome. You're not going to give them just don't do nothing at all then.
That part.
Right.
Because we want to find value in the stuff that we own, not the person that we're with. You're 100% right. I don't see the value in that person. I just see what that person can do for me and what I can receive from that person.
Exactly. That's why I can throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
There's no value in it.
All
right, y'all. I got to go.
All right, love you, sis. I got you.
Hey.
Miss V, what you got, sis? I know I was waiting for you. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, a couple of things. When you talk about why we place blame
okay, like
on
skin.
the other,
Skin on here looking all clear and good. I'm getting tired of your red bone women coming with just clear skin.
When we place blame, it's easy to place blame. So if you're in a relationship and that other person is not holding you accountable, of course I'm going to blame them, because why do I have to take accountability? I don't have to. If you're not going to hold me accountable, why would I hold myself accountable? That doesn't make sense.
For real.
It makes sense, but in our thinking, it doesn't make sense. I'm like simply where I had to one day say, you know what? This is me. I keep picking the same type of man. I want to be his rescue. I want to save him from himself. That's what I had to realize about Mrs. V. Once I did that, then everything changed in how I moved. But I'm going to hold you accountable. Why? Because I had to hold me accountable.
Yes.
Right? So it changed the dynamics of my relationship going forward, to include my marriage as we speak.
Right.
And so my husband and I had a conversation room recently, and he told the panel that I was trying to live single. I still had some single ways about myself that I didn't recognize until I pointed those things out to him. And so at the end, the grand scheme of the whole conversation, you have to do the self-work. You just have to, because that's where it's going to start. That's where change happens. That's where everything starts with self. If you don't, you're going to keep getting the same results.
Right.
More importantly, if you have a partner who's stuck in his ways or her ways, it's up to you to hold that person accountable. Either they're going to fix it or they're not. And I'm not going to spend 5 to 10 years waiting on you to fix or rearrange or regroup. I don't like the word change, because I'm not going to be with anybody to try to change them, nor do I want them to try to change me. I accept you for who you are. With all of us come flaws.
Right.
They do. And you have to find the person where those flaws, you can either work with them or you can't. Relationships are not hard. We make them hard. We just do. It's most times it's two things. It's yes or no. I do, I don't, I will, I won't. We add the gray area. We add the middle. There is no middle.
Right.
There is no gray. It's normally two responses. I will, I won't, yes, no. It's no maybe. It's no I'll think about it. It's none of that. We created that middle space that doesn't and should not exist. It's not difficult. We make it difficult.
So,
I rest.
so I'm going to ask a question. I got a couple questions I want to ask. Why do we get angry when our decisions don't work out?
Because we mad at everybody but ourselves. Like, we realize that we should have made a better decision.
But see, that's
Because
that right
we
there.
know everything. That's why we get mad.
But
If we don't.
but see, I like that you said that, right? But here's the funny part is this: we can't get mad at something if you already knew that you made a bad decision. Because a lot of times we don't really know that we make a bad decision until things don't go the way that we want it.
Correct.
That right there. So that's called what? Bad planning. You didn't think things through. You thought about it, but you didn't truly think it through. Same thing in relationships. Do we really think our relationships through? Do people really think these things through? Like, should I really be with this person? And this is when we just turn around and we just settle because, hey, you know what? This person does this. I can deal with that. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Quite honestly, bro, it's on the job training.
There go that word again.
That training word,
The
that's right.
relationship is on the job training. We learn as we go.
And
That's not the right way to do it, but that's what it is.
it's the worst way to do something. Because because we have a tendency of changing, of moving different and changing different on an everyday basis. And my thing is this: sometimes you got to take a person. I want you at your worst. I want to see you at your worst. Because if I can see you at your worst, then that lets me know if I can deal with you or not. I don't want you at your best because people, I got to be my best person. No, don't be your best person. If you start going to these relationships or dealing with someone at your worst, catch me when I'm rock bottom.
What you say?
Real talk.
I
Like,
agree.
I want to see you at your rock bottom. Like when this bad, then let me see if I can deal with you. Because if I can deal with, yeah, brother, go ahead for it.
No, I ain't meant to cut you off. You was mid-sentence. Go ahead, bro.
No, you good. You can cut me off. It's all right. Go ahead.
So I think going back to what, and salutations to the panel. Hope you all are doing well. I think this is the issue that we run into. A lot of people they haven't been trained to, the Bible calls it long suffering, like to deal with somebody. So I guess I'm asking you, Vel, like your perspective on it. Does someone have enough patience to deal with you at rock bottom? I think that's the issue that I'm seeing for me and what I've experienced in life too.
You know what? That's the hard-hitting question right there. If I don't think a lot of people have the patience to deal with someone at their rock bottom. To be honest, I truly don't believe that people have the capacity to deal with someone like that. It becomes right now we're at bare minimum. I can deal with someone, but you know what they do once a person he's doing too much, I can't deal with it. Then that means you was never meant to be with me in the first place because you're not worthy of being a wife, and you're damn sure not worthy of being a husband. And I'm talking about both parties, men and women. You're not worthy of the
finished product.
But the problem is the product is never finished. See, that's the problem.
Exactly.
The problem is this: we were never finished product, no matter man or woman, regardless of fact. You can have it going on. You can have all this stuff. You can have the house, the car, the money, all that, but you're still not a finished product because those are just material things.
Exactly.
You as an individual, every single day you wake up in the morning, you are a new person. I'm learning something different every day. I may have to, even if my patterns may still be the same, but sometimes even my patterns can get altered. Even though something different may come out, I may eat the same food, but it may not taste the same every single day. So, with that being said, yes, things that I do, I am not complete. I am not finished. I can have all these things. I can have everything in the world, but does not make me the finished product. Am I able to deal with somebody with all their BS when they come in with all their baggage and all their nonsense? That's the question you got. That's the number one question for that. Can I deal with you at your worst? When you feel that, when you as a woman don't even feel beautiful, when you are walking around and you are shaming your own self, can I deal with that? Because as a man, it is my job on some real stuff to make sure that when you don't feel beautiful, you are beautiful to me. See, I'm supposed to speak life into you. I'm supposed to encourage you as a man, baby. What's wrong? I don't feel myself, sweetheart. You always look good, baby. You are magnificent. You are gorgeous. Listen, because if nobody don't see it, trust and believe, I see it. What the beauty of it is when it comes to men and women is if we were able to tell each other certain things. Like my wife told me something this weekend, and it you know. She was like, babe, you looking good. Like, you looking, And I was like, huh? What? Well, stop playing. But, you know what I'm saying? But it made me, yeah, she made me feel a certain type of way. And I was like, what? She's like, I see it. Because a lot of times within ourselves, we don't see certain things that other people see. Like, I'm looking at me like, I'm not right. I'm not where I want to be. But she's like, nah, baby, you right. I'm like, nah. So I got to keep going to the gym. I got to make sure I'm right. But this is what speaking life into your partner looks like.
Exactly.
The small compliments that we truly don't get because we're too busy ready to receive them without giving them.
Right, because I think a lot of women, I notice a lot of women, they think that a man just supposed to like consistently compliment them, but they never give that man any compliments. That's not right. You know what I'm saying? I think men deserve to be complimented just as much as we do. Like, we want men to notice the small things. We should notice the small things. You know?
Let me
That's on words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is this: being community isn't always verbal. That's the thing that really gets a lot of people stumped in this whole diasporas of relationships, is because whatever communication aspect you have with someone previous is not to carry over because you're dealing with someone completely different. Also, as my big brother has reminded people, as also the good word does tell you, each day that you arrive, you are made new. So now you have to make that adjustment to self under God. Then you have to go and deal with that person and give them the grace, not a chance, the grace to present who they are on said day. And so, that's the thing. It's like, in a perfect world, I would love nothing more to hear a woman say, "Oh, baby, you did this. You look like this," and right? And in the perfect world, I would always like to notice everything about you, right? But the reality is, there's gonna be some times I'm just gonna drop the ball, intentionally, unintentionally. Dang. And there's gonna be times she gonna drop the ball, intentionally, unintentionally. I'm a slow walker anyway when it comes down to it. So the fact is, just enough patience allows me to go ahead and be in that space to have that gracious moment with people. And also, I know not to cling to things from yesteryear.
Right.
Matter of fact, I know not to cling to nothing from yesterday. So that's a big thing. It's going through those practices. When you go to the gym, are you doing the same workout you did last week?
Yeah.
No plateau.
I'm a creature of habit. I do the same exercise every day for the same day. So like every week I do a certain exercise. Every week. So Monday if I do chest and arms, the following Monday I'm doing chest and arms.
You increase the rep.
Yeah, but I increased the rep. Yeah.
You're on a plateau.
Yeah.
And D, I get what you're saying. The idea would be you might do a different workout, but it's working on the same muscle the following week. So I might be on the bar, the bench press, but then I might use the actual ones with the cords. I can't think of the name.
Right.
I'm working out on the same. Yeah, the pulley.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's understanding that and being able to make that pivot. When we have these discussions, I really hope that people walk away more encouraged to be more who they are, versus looking for somebody to be more of what they want them to be in the midst of it. Imagine you wanting to make a mold of your hand, right? And the person says, just push your hand up on it. And you don't take your hand and put it up on it. You take Ford's hand and press it against the mold. And they get upset that that's not the mold you wanted. It's supposed to be your hand. And that's what's really happening. We're putting a lot on people And that's hard because one, they already have their own directive path of life that they have to deal with. And then you're going to dump something on
That's
them.
good, bro.
So let me ask you this: is anger sometimes a way of avoiding accountability?
Oh, hell yeah. Absolutely. The one thing most humans don't want to be is responsible.
That's the root. That's a root right there, bro. Most of us don't want to be responsible, so we project our dysfunction, our shortcomings, our insecurities on other people, and a lot of people mask it in anger because anger is an emotion. So if I can get you to feel like, dang, they angry at me, now I don't have to address the real issue. Now you got to address this first, this anger.
So
Anger is you admitting that whatever they're saying to you is the truth. That's what anger tells me. When you get mad about something, if it wasn't true, why are you mad?
that
Yeah,
part.
because anger means you're passionate about something.
What's
You're
up, man?
passionate about whatever it is that you're feeling.
No, you know what?
Some good coffee.
I like what you're saying, right? But I can kind of agree. Anger is, to me, I'm mad because you're right. And that's what get people even more upset. That's where they get mad.
Yeah, that's good.
They like, I'm mad. I'm getting more pissed off because the person's right about me. But the thing, the problem I have with this is this: why am I getting mad over something that I already did, knowing that I did wrong and knowing that they're right? I should be understanding, but I don't want to be understanding because I don't want to be held accountable. So now I'm pissed off the fact that you know something, and I'm going to come up with something else to even try to circle back or to try to make it seem like you're wrong. That's the problem that we have. It's like I can't face
Like manipulation.
exactly. I can't, and wisdom said it. I can't face my shame, so now I got to shame you for something that you did to make you feel like me. Oh, but what about when you did this? How many times have we done that? Well, the moment that we get caught with doing something, well, what about you? What about when you did this? It's not about me.
Because you should have addressed it then when that was the problem.
Exactly.
But I did that. I did that a lot. I used to do that a lot. You call me out on something, I'm finna call you out on something. Instead of accepting the constructive criticism and moving forward and striving to do better. I did that.
Yeah. You know, and no human wakes up like, hey, today I'm going to be wrong. You know, no one wakes up with that desire, but no one's taking the accountability for their posture, so that anger could be weaponized and used as a distraction tool to get an outcome that benefits the one displaying the anger. This is why we say, you know, relationships are built on communication, or communication is so important in relationships, because what that does is that could remove the misunderstanding, because either you're manipulating me by using the anger, or you're lacking the level of understanding. So when we communicate, that anger should dissipate if it's true anger and not used as a weapon to hide the fact that you just want it to be right.
So let me do this. I got to reset the room a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 95 beautiful people. We only have 7K likes. All I'm asking right now, y'all, please, I want to get to at least, my goal today is to get to 100K likes. But if y'all can help tap the screen, repost, share the live, I would highly respect it. I would highly appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for joining us this morning with this morning's discussion. I know it's Monday. I know a lot of y'all had a long weekend, but thank y'all for joining us this morning. That's all y'all can. I'm not asking for no gifts. All I'm asking for y'all is just help tap the screen and share the live out and repost it respectfully. Brother Wisdom.
Yo, what going on with your kinfolk? What happening, Brother D?
I'm
Brother
good.
Ford, ladies of the panel, what's good with
So
y'all?
let me ask you a question.
Good morning.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Can you regret a decision without regretting the lesson?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It says this, you know, I wanted to learn it, but did I have to do it this way? Absolutely. Because there's so many ways to learn something, you know what I'm saying? And it's like a lot of times we don't want to bump our head against the wall to know it's a wall. We could have touched it with our hand. You know, we don't have to do the things we think we have to do, but we really feel that way because, again, you know, a lot of times I say as young people and older people, we're not weighing the value of our choices, right? But we judge the decision. So we don't say, okay, based on what I can do, is choice A, B, and C, right? That's going to lead me to this outcome. These are the only 3 choices I got. I can't make no other decisions because these are the only choices I have. This is going to lead me to my decision. We're very much, as a culture, unfortunately, a people of show. We are very entertaining, but we are not about our business. So to me, we have become show business. We are entertaining to another culture, but we ourselves are not about the business of our success. Because the business of our success is strategic. It's saying these are the choices that I can make. So I'm not going to judge myself, be down on myself, judge the next person, be down on them, because only they can do what the choices are available to them. I don't know what Brother D's choices are that led him to his life, but I can't judge his decisions without knowing the value of his choices. I can say what I would do, but I'm not him. I don't have his choices. So that's where we look outside ourselves and not look inside ourselves again to say, first, let me start at my house and have the respect and understanding for me first so that I can have it for another. If we don't have it for ourselves, we can't give it to another. And I land with this. If I ask you for $1 and you ain't got $1, you can't give it to me. You can only give me what you have the capacity to possess. So like he said, grace, understanding, the calm, because anger comes from expectations. I can get angry at anything that doesn't meet my expectations all day. But when I have acceptance, I possess understanding. I can accept why you do what you do. I can understand why you do what you do. But once I expect you to act a certain way and you don't meet it, oh, now we got a problem. We going there. So yeah, we got to have a step back into a level of, peace. Peace, be still is what the word says. Be still for a second and know that I am. I'm a land.
Amen to that. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. I'm gonna ask, how do you pronounce your name? Divasia?
Hey, Bill, but I've been on it before, man. You can just call me D.
All right, D. All right. Well, thank you for joining, brother. So let me ask you a question, D. When does I made a mistake become someone else's made me do it?
I would say, I think I have to go back to what you said earlier about accountability. I really think it's fear. You know, right? Like, sometimes I think it's fear. Some people won't take that accountability of saying somebody else made me do it and just say I did it. Because most of the time it's out of fear, man. A lot of people are trauma burned. Like, a lot of people are hurt. A lot of people are damaged. A lot of people are not healed. You know what I'm saying? And we soul ties with people in relationships all the time and hoping that this person might help me. Or this person might not ask for my, why I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's fear, man. No matter what your age is, you know what I'm saying? Fear don't matter what your age is. So once you're afraid of telling the truth or being honest or being upfront, it can control your life. It can hinder you. You know what I'm saying? It can handicap. I always like to say, like, I believe in Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. So I always like to say stuff like, if he or she ain't pushing you to him instead of them, there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with somebody who's trying to push you, who ain't pushing you towards him instead of them. I think you should question. That goes in marriages too. Because a lot of people get married and they get married, they married to their spouse, and they forget the holy part, the holy matrimony. So we've been married for 40 years, but we talk more about the celebrities than we do about praying together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you can hear people say, I've been married for 40 years, get on the podcast, get on here and talk about everything other and don't speak nothing about who joined them together. That's scary to me. You know what I'm saying? So I say this to all my brothers and sisters who listen to anyone. If they ain't talking about God, they don't be talking about it. Because everything of this world is not, our citizenship ain't even here anyway. You're a true believer. And I ain't trying to Bible thump nobody, but I'm just being real. I'm speaking truth. Anything that can heal you, talk to the one who created you. Let's be 100. Tap in him more. I truly believe true intimacy is not body to body. It's prayer. A real connection. You ever sit down and talk to somebody and say, let's pray over something, they hesitate, they get kind of nervous. What that familiar of? Just think about it. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of it be like, the world say, focus on me, believe in yourself. God said, believe in me. I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna always feed my flesh. I'm trying to die to that every day. I'm trying to get that out the way. You know what I'm saying? That goes for men and women. So I think we all should take accountability for our own actions in marriage or single, whatever the case might be. God called all of us children. So stop, act like a child. Stop acting like you know everything. You leaning on your own understanding. He said, don't do that. And like Brother Wisdom just quoted Proverbs 46 and 10. Be still, I am God. Man, you learn a lot about somebody, about how they speak and where they at with their father. I ain't talking about their human father, I'm talking about their spiritual father. We keep forgetting as we have, even in a relationship, we have children. They do not belong to you. You're a caretaker. You only create the body, but you don't create the soul. Amen. So it's just like that. They'll be like, it's bigger than me. Just say that, it's bigger than me. But if you live upon this world, yeah, you're gonna be sold to the world. But I heard it's a better place than this. Let's be 100. You know what I'm saying? So I say that, and I truly believe wisdom is not of age. It's of spirit. I know plenty 50+ people don't know where they're going. And I know 21-year-olds or younger know who they true father. You know what I'm saying?
But to be honest, though,
really, it's not what goes in the mouth and what's come out. Amen. So
Amen.
it's like,
but here's the thing, though. Even though nobody knows it, to be honest, nobody knows where they're going until he returns. So we can easily say, I'm doing everything X, Y, and Z, right? And this is nothing against anybody, any firm believers, but I got to say what needs to be said. A lot of people be like, I'm living this, I'm doing my life this way, I'm doing my life that way, I'm living my life for Christ. This, that. I got you, Top. And but at the end of the day, there may be still some things that are missing that we're not doing, that we're probably missing the mark. And I'm not saying, and I'm not trying to, for people that say, I'm not trying to make nobody feel encouraged, because we're supposed to, but it's like, are we truly living the life that we're supposed to be living for the Lord? And if that's the case, then if I'm just living for Him, then why am I? Then where's my life? You know what I'm saying? Because some people become too holy and too godly that they're no earthly good. They're no worldly good. So it's like I'm gonna be this Christian person. I'm gonna walk with the Lord. I'm gonna do everything that He wants me to do. But you're not doing His will, because why are you not speaking the gospel to every creature? But you're only living it for yourself. And like I said, no disrespect to nobody, but that's just me. But I do want to go on to someone else. No, I'll come back to you, Brother Top. I got a question for you. Good morning, my brother.
Everyone.
Good morning.
Hope everybody's well.
So I got a question for you, Top. Why is taking responsibility so uncomfortable?
Because people are not honest with themselves. Like, people create this idea of who they think they are, but they never want to look in the mirror about who they truly are. Power comes when you can look in the mirror at what you truly are, accept that, and work with what you have, and elevate and build to becoming more that way. Most people don't do that. So, and then based on to what you were saying in regards to, Christians, I believe in God, and I'm gonna make sure that I keep this short because I know other people want to speak. I believe in God, man, but it was a time where I had to realize that I was wearing a Christian costume, that I didn't have an identity, that being a Christian was my identity, and being a Christian and serving the Lord to me is two different things. People go to these churches, you're very heavy in church culture, but you don't really have relationship. And so just for me, when I come in contact and I have conversations with Christians, and I tell them, hey, God has done that amazing things in my life. He don't have to do nothing else. So if I pass away and he be like, nah, bro, you ain't make it. Okay, cool. You took care of my kids. You took care of everything when I was homeless. You made sure that you supplied my every need each and every day of my life, whether I acknowledge you or not. You did your part. So this whole thing, again, my thing is, if God was like, yo, give me all that, all your comforts, everything else, the four-car garage, the house, the woman, the children, give it all to me and live in squalor. If you ain't running to sign up for that, if you're not willing to take the pain and the pressures, the ridicule of actually serving God, I don't hear nothing you got to say. If you only can serve God in comfort, when everything's going right, when you be blessed and all that, I don't want to hear nothing that you have to say. Because you are a very you're a very depiction as to why people are walking away from the church in the first place. But I'll land there, and shout out to anybody else. We gonna have a great morning.
Shout out to you too, my brother. Thank you. 62 Bunny, what's up, brother? Welcome in.
Good morning to everyone.
Morning. So, question to you: can you forgive yourself for a choice you made knowing better?
Now, yes. Probably back then, no. Because I didn't want to forgive myself. I wanted to look for somebody else to blame. As you evolve, you learn you're the problem and you're your solution. And how we respond, we have to admit sometimes we don't know the skill. We have to learn the skills to respond. Because responsibility means, do you have a skill to respond? And if you don't have it, you can't do it. That means you have to go learn it. And we just have to, that's the first part of admitting you don't have a skill.
I like that. And a lot of people don't want to admit, they don't want to admit their faults. We don't want to sit there and here's the thing, even at big ages, sometimes we don't want to forgive ourselves for the choices that we made, even though we knew better. Because if you know better, you're going to do better. And sometimes here's the thing: we know better. If we know better, we're going to do better. But yet, people still making the same choices and still coming up with the same results. So, did you really learn? Did you really know? No. You're still dating the same type of man. You're still dealing with the same type of woman.
But there's a thing about taking responsibility.
But that's the problem. They're not. They're taking the responsibility is very minimum, and they only want to be responsible when they get caught. That's the problem. When you get caught with something, now you want to hold yourself accountable. Now you want to be responsible. But the moment, as long as you can get away with it, you're not taking no accountability, nor are you worrying about getting caught. You're not responsible. But it's only when we get caught in our bull crap, when we get caught in our nonsense, is when all of a sudden now I want to be accountable. Now I want to accept all my consequences. But you should have thought about that before you was doing it in the first place. See, when you do wrong, you get wrong, and then when they find out how wrong you've done, now all of a sudden you want to blame somebody. Well, it's not my fault. You're the reason why these things are happening. No, it's not. So if you know that that's the reason why, if you know that you're dealing with a woman and the reason why things are going the way they're going, why are you still dealing with that woman? If you are a woman and you're dealing with a man and you know things are going bad or things ain't working out the way they're supposed to be, but yet you're still with this man, why you still with him? You see it all in your face. Listen, like the sister said earlier, everything is black and white. There is no gray area unless you create a gray area because you don't want to see what's really going on. Blame yourself. Stop sitting there wanting to get mad and acting all goofy and blaming somebody else for some nonsense that you allowed. Period. You sit there, oh, I can't believe, and you know it because you're complaining about it. When you're in a relationship with someone, man or woman, and most of the time it's women that's complaining about the man that she with. Oh, I can't believe he's doing this. He's so stupid. I don't even know why I'm dealing with him. You know why you're dealing with him. Because you settled for the nonsense. And you're afraid to move on. And you're afraid to think, well, if I let him go, somebody else going to get him. Let him go. Let somebody else get him. That'll be somebody else's problem. Not yours no more. But you want to sit there and hold on to a whole situation for what? It don't make no sense. And you staying with these knuckleheads. And the same thing with these dudes. Yo, man, shorty out there doing X, Y, and Z. But you as a man are trying to fight for something that don't want to be with you. If your woman is out there laying up with other dudes and she's doing all this other stuff and she's not giving you no attention, she's not paying you no mind, stuff that she was once doing in the beginning, she's no longer doing. Bro, it's time to look at that whole situation and ask yourself, do I need to stay here? Or even ask, why am I still here? Because the moment you start seeing as a man, I don't know about some of y'all brothers, and I'm not speaking for none of y'all, but I'm saying like this. As a dude, me, once I see things wasn't working out and I caught it from the door, I'm done. Ain't no need for me to have a conversation with you because you already showed me who you are and what you're willing to do as a woman. So guess what? Since that's how you gonna move, ain't no need for me to be with you no more. Period. I don't know why we try to sit there and try to fix something that's already damaged. It's damaged the moment she stopped moving the way that she's supposed to, the way that she was once moving. Because you know why? Because she see value in someone else. No longer you, bro. Your clock is done. Sometimes you got to know when to punch your clock. And a lot of us don't know when to punch these clocks. We just want to sit there. Nah, it ain't my time yet. I could fix this woman, man. Yo, if all I got to do is just start, you know what? You start becoming a sucker for love. That's what you become. You one of them dudes, you become a sucker for love because now, here it is, you call it, I'm a leader, so I got to make sure I fix it. There ain't nothing to fix. You can't fix a woman that's broken. Sorry. You can't fix a woman. It is not your responsibility to fix a woman that has already broke you and broke out of that relationship.
It's not the thing is not letting go. It's asking them why you're holding on.
No, you holding on as the man. Yo, dude, I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying, any relationship, it's never to let go. They're justifying why they're holding on. Because they always tell you why they're holding on. You know, would you hold on to a rope that's going to let you fall into the ocean? No. It's like you're holding on to quicksand. I'm going to step in the quicksand. He's in quicksand. You're going to step in the quicksand, and you're both going to talk your way out of it.
Ain't nowhere where I'm talking.
A lot of people, you know, they say misery loves company, and broken people love broken people because it's very difficult to identify where the problem is if we're all broken. But the moment you start really going through true wholeness and the journey it takes to become healed, you'll be able to better identify those problems. But you identify it, the reason why you're able to is because you identified it in you first. And a lot of people aren't taking the time to reflect, like I think Top said, look in the mirror and see who you are and see who God has called you to become. There's a difference between position and process. I am who I am, that's position. But the process is to become. And we want to skip out on that part of the journey and then finger point and blame everybody else. And this is why we got a lot of trauma bonding and drama and unhealed people. I know women that are posting left and right. They've been healing for 4 years. And in between, in that 4 years, I've been seeing them post new relationship. Now he didn't disappear off her page. Now she got a new dude who you see his elbow or his gym shoe. And we're not going through the process to get to wholeness so we can better identify what's for us and what we're called to.
You know, one of my favorite things to do is to discover and learn slowly, deliberately. You know what that's called, proper term? It's called gleaning. I love to glean.
You know what though? There was something I wanted to say right quick. I'm gonna come in after D. My bad. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
So one thing is this. We're not intentionally doing it, but we're doing it. We're giving a said party a pass to lay blame on the partner. When the usual suspect is normally the one talking. We all seen First 48. Oh, we should all probably walk around with a pack of cigarettes in our pocket. Here you go, sister. Here you go, brother. Yeah, man, I'm out here cheating. Man, I got a wife on the side. I got a girlfriend. Oh, okay. We should probably all give all of them cigarettes so we can get the whole thing out the way. Because nobody really wants to come clean and be forthright about their doings. It's that person, right? Like that discussion we were having last week. It was that person. It's that person.
Yeah, she's the reason why I cheated. She's the reason why this, that, and the third. It's not my fault. It's her. you know, because she stopped doing certain things. So it forced me to go out there and want to lay down with another woman. Like, really?
It's the woman that you gave me, Lord.
That part. Say that again. Come on.
So it's all of that, right? And again, what I learned about cleaning, something I've been doing, again, not knowing the proper term of it. I'm a slow walker. I like to see that thing through so I don't miss nothing. One of my favorite quotes came from Albert Einstein. What it was, he said that people quote me to be a genius. It's not that I know more than everybody else. I just stick with the problem longer. And then that set with me.
Bars.
From that point, is like, am I assessing myself? Because the thing my grandfather taught me, I always share with people, is that I'm not going to be able to outrun myself. Right? I'm not going to be able to outrun who I am. Everywhere I go, my shadow is going to be right there. So the moment that I think that I'm going to get into position and be something elsewhere and get to try to finagle or doctor up a narrative, know that when somebody sit there and hear you listen and speaking and looking at you like this, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. When they get to looking at you like this, and they just taking it all in, not saying much of anything.
Maybe they're not taking it all in.
They get to a point where they be like, cool. And you done gave this whole rundown about how this person did this, that person did that. Got it. It's a wrap.
You know what though? Something I wanted to jump in with that right quick was what Brother Jones was talking about earlier, and it's that when people are unable to do a thing, you know, or they do it at the same time and they don't realize why, I realize that people have to be ready for the lesson, right? Because if you're not ready for it, even when you get it, you're still going to make the same choices because you're not ready to go forward from that choice. So when he was saying people are like stuck in sometimes what looks like patterns, you know what I'm saying? They become comfortable in the pattern, you know what I mean? Because there's familiarity in the pattern. And many times when we say something is hard, the truth, and I'm telling you, this is the actual truth here for me saying it, it's simply unfamiliar to you. That's why it's hard. It's an unfamiliarity, meaning that lesson that you're supposed to learn, you're not ready to learn. So you're going to keep making the same mistakes. You're going to keep repeating the same choices until you're ready to move forward. So it's a saying that's very old, and it says that the teacher appears when the student is ready, meaning that the lesson appears before you when you're ready for that lesson. In the meantime, you're going to keep doing the same things over and over and over again until you're ready to have that lesson. It's waiting on you. You ain't waiting on the lesson. The lesson is waiting on you. It's already ahead of you, waiting for you to make a different choice. Once you make a different choice, then you get a different outcome. But people don't want a different outcome because that outcome is very familiar to them. So lessons people have to be ready for before you can force them upon them, because they'll just ignore it. And they'll go right back to what they've been doing. Even if you give them the truth, even if you give them a better way, what's familiar to people is what they stay with. It's the same reason you go the same way to work every day, because it's familiar to you. Going a different way is frustrating to you because it's unfamiliar. There's a different lesson in that, something different to see in the neighborhood. So we have to understand that growth is unfamiliar. You have not been there yet. You can't see yourself 5 years from now. You don't know 5 years from now choices. You can speculate, but you ain't been there yet. So the understanding is this in our land. When you want a different lesson, you have to make a different choice to get that different lesson. Other than that, the patterns you repeat will give you the same exact outcome. You can't do the same thing over and over and expect a different result.
That's so good. You know what he said? It made me think of one of my favorite old school movies called Groundhog's Day. And he kept repeating the same day. But what I loved about it was the development. Once he realized he was stuck, he started learning. He learned languages. He learned how to play the piano. He learned how to, deal with so many different things. And it wasn't until he arrived at that place of clarity and understanding and change that the day finally progressed and went on to another. A lot of us are living a Groundhog's Day where we're repeating the same thing year after year after year after year. And we've aged, but we haven't grown. And I believe that God and life gonna life, and it'll force you to either stay in that cycle, that hamster wheel, or progress into your purpose.
Amen. Let me do this real quick. I want to go to Trent. She's been waiting. What's up, Trent? Welcome in. Are you with us, Trent?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine. So let me ask you a question. Are you angry at the person?
Go ahead.
Okay. Are you angry at the person or angry at yourself for allowing the situation?
I didn't know that.
What?
Come again, please.
Okay, I'm gonna come again one more time and say it slowly.
My network is, my network is terrible here.
Okay, so you got to move from McDonald's. Stand
from McDonald's.
Stand next to Wendy's. No, I'm just playing. But listen, are you angry at the person or angry at yourself for allowing the situation?
I didn't hear the last words. Sorry, network.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop you down. I'm gonna bring you back up in a minute.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Well,
I love that question, bro. I love that one.
Okay.
Well, a lot of times, there was a show on TV called Intervention. I used to look at that show and go, well, they're absolutely stupid. They're sitting there, this guy, everybody's telling him what he should, we need to save your life, we need to save your life. And he's sitting there going like, y'all trying to help him save his life. He's not asking to save his life. I mean, it was like, they needed the help. The intervention should have been all those people trying to pull him out of the mud. He didn't want to get out of the mud. Because the one thing we have a problem with, that word longevity. Longevity doesn't always mean you're in a good place.
The thing that we really have a problem with, that I see right now, even with this whole question, are we angry at ourselves? Are we angry at the person, or angry at us, or angry at yourself for allowing the situation? No, we're always angry at the person, never ourselves. We only get mad at ourselves when we realize that we are the cause of the problem. And sometimes we don't even want to face the fact that we're the cause of the problem. That's why we always get angry at someone. I can't believe you did this. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe I allowed this. See, the moment you say that, you already know what you allowed. I can't believe I allowed you to come into my life and do X, Y, and Z. I can't believe I allowed you in my space and did all this other stuff. So you already see and you already recognize the faults, but you don't want it. But you're still trying to blame them for something that you have already allowed. The moment you allow somebody into your space, it becomes your fault, period. Then there is nobody else to blame. Either you're going to accept it or you're not, period.
So the truth of the matter is they are upset with themselves. They are. It's not knowing how to communicate that to self. And then even, like bro said, you're in unfamiliar territory. So that's going to do nothing but frustrate you more. You know what I mean? People ain't never told themselves the truth. They like themselves. They love themselves. They never sat down with themselves and told themselves the truth about anything. They
want to play victim. They want to play victim instead. They are a willing participant in their mess.
But that right there.
How about this? How about we take this standpoint? I'm gonna say this: people are lessons and blessings at the same time. Dig it? So you are one and the same. You are to be learned with and learned from, to either bless a person or move from a person until they can figure out what they gain from you, because all experience counted in this world makes us who we are. Be they good experience or not good experience. That's on us to say what it is. But the people that come across us, be they temporary or permanent, are people we learn with, learn from. They either bless or they don't. And the thing is, I think that, again, we're looking at it from the outside instead of, again, like D said, from the inside. And as long as we keep looking at it from the outside at what these people are, and then not quantifying what the people are as the lesson to learn from, to grow from, to elevate from, or with, then we don't receive the blessing of the people that are in our lives, because you can't buy the experience of life. You have to live it. It's not in a book. It's not on TV. It ain't in a lecture. You have to live it. And if you're not living it for the understanding of elevation, no matter where you go, some people can take advantage of you. Some people going to manipulate you. Some people going to deceive you. Either way, you can't buy that, whatever that is. You can't go up there and say, hey, I'm going to pay you to lie to me today. I'm going to pay you to manipulate me today. They have to do that so that you learn and you grow from those things. You say, you know what? You got me today. You won't get me again. Now that becomes experience. That's knowledge. That knowledge you can apply to your life becomes wisdom. That's the lesson. The wisdom is the blessing. But you have to go through it in order to GROW through it. If you don't go through, you can't grow through. So we have to stop looking at resistance of the people who come through our lives for the negativities and start seeing, where did this change me? Like Brother Jones said, where did this elevate me? If I'm going through it, I'm part of the problem. It can't be a problem without me, because if I'm not in it, then it's no problem. But if I'm in it and it's a problem, then I got to see my part in it. That's the lesson. What did I learn from me doing this? How did this benefit me or not benefit me? Either way, I don't get blessed until I look for the discovery of the lesson of the people that I come across, for the experience that I gain or not. I land.
But we don't want to. But we don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to learn a lesson. I want to teach somebody a lesson. That's the difference. I don't want to take the lesson that I've learned. I want to teach somebody a lesson. And this is where we mess up, because we don't truly want to sit there and be like, you know what? How many people can honestly sit there and say, I'm the one to blame for what's going on in my marriages, for what's going on in my relationship? I'm the one to blame. I blame myself for all the failed marriages, for all my failed relationships. I want to sit there and apologize. No, because I want to apologize to every woman that I basically dated and be like, listen, I'm sorry. It was my fault. The reason why things happened. It wasn't your fault. It was me. But no, we would never do that. I broke up with somebody because of X, Y, and Z. This is why I said last week. Again, I think I might have said it yesterday, stop going around telling people about your breakups. I don't care about who you broke up with. I don't care about your last person. I'm not him. Because what does that do? The moment I ask you, why did you break up? What was your last relationship like? And why did you guys break up? You explain it to me why you broke up with this dude. You know what that makes me do as a man? Now, as a man, I got to make sure I don't make those same mistakes that old boy did. So now I'm competing with someone who no longer exists to make sure that you're okay. But that means you're not accepting me for who I am, because now I have already made a process of changing myself before I even got with you, based off the information that you told me about a certain person that you was dealing with. Men and women do it, don't even realize. Women, you do it too. You don't even.
That's really good, bro. That's really good, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if a woman sat down and broke down what her ex did, this, that, and the third, while talking to me, I'm be sitting up there, I'm be taking all my mental notes of everything she's saying. And guess what? At the end of the day, I'm gonna get my ass up from that table and I'm gonna go be light skinned out in the world. Because you're not done with that situation if you can talk about it so freely.
But it's the thing of this, though. The problem I have is the fact that people are willing to like, why do I need to know about someone that you dealt with in the past? I'm not him.
No,
so
you don't need to know that, but guess what?
But
telling you.
Right, but I'm saying,
I'm not done with that.
But the reason why they saying is because people asking, so you know what happened in your past relationship? Why do you want to? I don't care. I don't care about that.
They don't.
Well, here's the case. The problem is they're grieving over somebody who's still breathing.
So let me ask this question. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 women in the plane. Welcome in, ladies. Welcome in, Jen, Alicia, Rain, Mama Bear. Good morning, ladies. I'm going to ask each. I want to hear your opinion on what I just said. without none of the men interrupting. I want to hear from each of you sisters one at a time. And for those that are in the comments, we're only at 19K. We got 126 beautiful people in here. I should be at least at 50K likes. I'm not asking for no gifts. Can y'all please do some power tapping? Or what we may have to do is turn off the comments for a little bit, and I'm going to stop the live and just play some music till I get to where I need to get to. Y'all can go to everybody else's live and tap and do all this other stuff. All I'm asking y'all to do is tap the screen. I'm not asking for no gifts or nothing else. I'm just trying to reach a certain plateau today, respectfully. Thank you guys, and I appreciate y'all. So, ladies.
Well, for me, good morning, everybody. For me, I did blame at the beginning, but sitting down with myself and evaluating things that has happened in my life and people that I've come across in my life, that it was only me who caused the pain for me. I can only speak for me, but that's what I had to learn, sitting with myself and actually reinventing all the things that I've gone through with men and how they've hurt me and so forth. But I blamed them at first, but ultimately it was me, my choice and what I chose and so forth. So that's just for me. I can't speak for no one else, but
I respect that.
I sat and done the work for myself.
But see, it's that part. The fact that it's to admit that, hey, I was the one that blamed them. And the thing is, some people be like, I'm putting in the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some people say I'm going through a healing process, right? My problem is this: what are you healing from? Are you healing from the person, or are you healing from the hurt that you caused yourself?
The hurt that you caused yourself, because you were the one who put yourself in that situation. Nobody else could. I mean, you can blame them, for that, but I don't even think that could be a reason why you would blame them. But because it was you who made the choice to do that, to go through that with that person, so it was just ultimately on you and what you caused yourself, not no one else.
See, I say this because a lot of times people think that they're truly over and they healed from the relationship, and they're not. A lot of people are still stuck in their past relationships, however they want to look at it. They still have some sort of, whether it was good or bad, it was still something that may cause you to still think about the person that you were with. What's up, Renee?
Healing takes a long time, so it's
it really
just not,
no.
You say that
healing doesn't take a long time. You just taking a long time healing. You can't blame it on that.
That's true.
Healing does not take a long time. It's either I'm gonna get over the person, I'm gonna keep it moving, or I'm just gonna stay stuck in my own nonsense, and that's it. Because a lot of times people want to say it takes a long time because they're afraid to move on, so they want to use that. I'm still going through this healing journey. What are you still healing from? If it's been a year. Now you're going on 2 years and you still healing, sweetheart, something wrong with you. And I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general. There's no way in the world I'm going to be stuck in my past for all this time. As the world keeps moving, I'm going backwards. While the world is going forward, I'm going to go forward too. Guess what? You know what? I'm over this person. It is what it is. There's nothing that this person can do to me. There's nothing I no longer need. Matter of fact, I'm healing. I'm going to eliminate everything about this person. Social media, phone numbers, family, all of these things. Get them out of your system completely. Because see, this is the reason why some of y'all not healed fully, is because you still have certain parts of them in your system. You still have access to his social media, so you're still checking on the social media, see how he moving. You're not healed. You're still accepting texts and phone calls from this man. He gets access to you. You answer him. You're not healed. Now you got family members, his family members or her family members that you're still sticking around and you're still cool with, knowing that you shouldn't even be around them. You're not healed. You see what I'm saying? So now all these things play a major part. You don't even realize it. I could be cool with their family. Sure you can. But the moment the family start, well, such and such is be here. Now you see him and now you in your feelings because you at a party that you shouldn't have been at because, why you here? Well, your cousin invited me. Make it make sense. Sometimes their family or the opposite person's family still want to see you with your ex. They still want to see y'all together.
Right.
And you don't even realize it that you're doing it. You said it right, Ford. Come on. Anybody else? Come on, Jen, Rain, Mama Bear.
I'll say something. So I think that I think that a lot of Wisdom said a lot of stuff that resonated with me. I think that okay, one thing, healing. I want to talk about that healing statement you made. When you heal, you need to level up. The things that hurt you yesterday should not affect you the same way today. And that's something that I had to learn as I grow. And you know that with conversation, when you're around women and you all are talking about the same thing, continuously blaming the person in the past and there's no accountability there, I don't think there's healing. And you shouldn't be, like I said, you shouldn't be fighting the same demons, the same battles every single day. There needs to be a level up there. What hurt me yesterday, today, it's going to take a lot more to make me back down and hurt me. Secondly, I do think that as women, accountability is not first nature. Accountability is looking at myself and my hurt and what you did. But that's not, and when you get into a relationship and you talk about and you blame the other partner and there's no accountability, I don't think there's growth there, and I don't think that makes you a good partner. However, I don't want to belittle that you have a testimony, you have a story, and you have a past. And sometimes those things shape us and mold us, because I was very much shaped by my past, but I'm not a victim. And I do realize that I myself made choices to stay where I was at, and I had to ask myself why. And I think that's where growth comes from. And I'll end there.
Well, you're right. I mean, sometimes that's the main question. Sometimes you got to look in the mirror and ask yourself why. You can wake up next to somebody that you've been with for 5 years and don't want to be with them, but sit in the mirror and ask yourself why. That's the question that you need to ask yourself why. Not ask somebody else or get information from someone else to tell you the reason why you shouldn't be with somebody, or get information from somebody else to tell you the reason why you should be with somebody. You know, I think that you women need to be with these type of men because X, Y, and Z. But guess what? Are you that type of man? No. You don't even fit the bill. You ain't even got no woman, or you ain't got no man, but you're trying to tell somebody what a relationship is supposed to be like when you can't even hold one. So now you're trying to live off you got other people out here trying to live off of other people's lives, telling you how you're supposed to be in a relationship, telling you what a man and woman shouldn't be doing, but yet you don't even have nobody. But you want to sit there and try to teach somebody how to be in a relationship when you should be teaching yourself how to maintain one. Oh, my bad. Did I really say that? Yes, I did. You got too many. To me, I'm going to be real. And I love myself, and I love what I do, and I love what we do. But we got too many people on this app, too many of these so-called coaches, too many of these so-called men out here living off of your women's egos and walk your women's dreams by telling y'all how a man is supposed to be and how we are wrong, and never putting the blame on what some of these women are doing, or never putting the blame on themselves. They want to blame the man for everything, this, that, and the third. We. But what about the fact that we don't turn around and be like, you? It was you all along. It has always been me. It was never her. It has always been me. I've made poor choices in women. I've made poor choices with dealing with women. I've made poor choices with all of these things. It was all my fault. I can't blame nobody else but me for my actions, period. The only person I should be pointing all my fingers at is myself, which means I'm going to hold me 100% accountable for all the bull crap that I put myself through and that I allowed. What happened? Did you want to say something?
Allow me to be accountable. 111 people. We get these shares of y'all. I need 20 people to hit that little crooked arrow down at the bottom right, hit repost, and then hit add the story. So that's 2 quick shares. You need to get over 70 something shares real quick. And also, we only had 26K, and we only moved up 5K since the last time it's been said. So there's 100 some people in here that have like 10 likes per person. We would easily be past thousands. We don't have to do a whole lot by ourselves. We gotta really learn how to work in unison. It's a big thing. Thank y'all. We got 5 shares so far. We need about 10 more shares. We need about 5 more people. Go ahead and share this out. Jay, we'll get you up out of here. You have a wonderful day, my brother.
Yeah, that part. Mama Bear, you got something you want to share, sister?
Yeah, good morning. I was listening to you. I really like that your host and all the questions. But I was thinking about in the Word of God, He says that His people is going to perish from a lack of knowledge, and the information that we obtain, the knowledge and getting understanding from what we obtain, and then the wisdom to use it in our process of arriving at even acknowledging ourselves and our wrong, or promoting whatever it is that we need or want as women. And I hear so much of the male against the female and the female against the male as to why. I take full responsibility at the point I'm at right now, but I had to get here. Full responsibility on my obligations to a relationship or not. I take full responsibility for whatever it is that I may allow. You know, it may not be where we come to that term right then and there when it's happening, but it's still good that if we come to that term and realize it, and then put forth the effort that we're not in that situation again. I thought about when you were saying, the host, when he was saying, you know, about being out. If we're in a marriage situation, and I'm not married, but if we're in there and we believing and trusting in God, then do we use that option of praying our marriage through? We don't, when we go into a marriage, you know, being a Christian or, you know, say that we don't go into that relationship with a back door, you know, and we need to be in the place of any relationship, really trusting God that you don't went into it and how you're in it and how you're dealing, that we should be able to trust God and give it to him, that he makes it as it should be. And if it's not, then that's where it is that it shouldn't be. But I don't know how, because I don't know, as far as the word is concerned, that we have that back door to exit in a marriage.
Let me say this to you, sister, and I respect that, right? But here's the thing that people want to say. They want to put, oh, you know, God, I want God in my marriage. He is in your marriage. But at the end of the day, you can't expect God to do everything. That's the problem. People want to lean on God to do everything. And then what work are you putting in if he's doing everything? So then what's the purpose of being married? You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
you can't expect God to do everything.
No, you can't. No. You can't. You got to expect him to do everything within you, not in your marriage. Because it's up to you. Because you have to fix your marriage. He doesn't have to fix it. He's just giving you the tools. I'm giving you this. I'm putting this inside you to help you fix your marriage. But yet you trying to get me. You want me to come and just listen. No, that's not how it works. At the end of the day, the job is this. I'm going to give you all of the tools. You have to be able to carry the tool bag and put those tools to work. Now, if you want to sit there and allow him to do everything, then guess what? What is the purpose? Because what work are you doing if you're just sitting back and letting him fix everything? Where
that's your perspective of what I was saying. I'm not saying sitting back, but I'm saying that to break out of the marriage or the relationship without actually having God to be able to step in and give you those tools. I never said about sitting back and that God would do anything, everything. I did not say that. I said to give him that option through prayer, that what needs to be worked out can be worked out. But the way that the statements was coming is that you see that such and such and such, you need to be out. You see that such and such and such.
If what I'm saying is this, I'm not talking, sister, I wasn't talking about in a marriage though. See, I said in a relationship. I wasn't talking about a marriage. Marriage and relationship are two different things. If I'm dating you and I see certain signs, there's no need for me to stay there. If we're dating, I have every right to walk away. Period. Because if there's things that I'm saying and we're dating and I'm starting to see something, I can't make you my wife. I'm not going to marry a mistake. I'm not going to marry something that I see where I see faults. Where I see too many faults and things ain't going right, I'm not going to sit there and try to make this woman my wife. How foolish will I be? Then that falls on me. That's me for making that mistake. That's me for not seeing, walking into a relationship blind, which is one thing I'm about to say right now. A lot of times we walk into our relationships blind and blindfolded. We only see what we want to see. We don't see the full picture. We don't get a chance to see the full picture because the pictures is moving too fast. A lot of people don't even truly know what they want in a relationship. They say certain things that they want, but guess what? They've been wanting the same thing from different people and never got the results that they wanted. Why you think their wants never changed? Oh, this is the type of man that I want. This is the type of woman that I want. We are stuck on that one thing that we want, and this is the reason why we date so many different men and women, because we're trying to find exactly what we want and never get it. The results never change.
I didn't mean to cut your spirit, but I see what you're saying, but I kind of agree with the lady up there, because like even in relationship, you still want to lean on God no matter what the relationship is. He might give you the tools, but I'm still believing in the creator of the tools. You see what I'm saying?
I get you, but your relationship should be. But if that's the case, then my relationship is with God, because there's no need. I should be in a relationship with a woman if I don't see marriage in this woman. This is what
it is. Listen, man, it is. You're right. It is. Your relationship is with God, because guess what? He who joins them together, not you who joins them together in any relationship, right? Because at the end, if you believe or don't believe, if you believe in going somewhere after this, your soul is accountable for you. Not your partner. You know what I'm saying? So it is. She. I agree with the sister above me, because at my relationship, I'm leaning on God on all of it. Because and if I'm believing in God, I'm trusting God. He won't give it to me anyway. That he can take away. Why not, right?
I think you don't make a covenant with somebody that you're dating, right?
No, listen.
That's
Yeah. What tough?
We're not making covenants with boyfriends and girlfriends.
That's what I'm trying to get.
Ain't that what Gordon come in? So
But see, here's the difference.
Hold on. Courting is basically you just sifting them out. It's not a covenant. So we're talking about being at the precipice of something versus been crossed it. Neither are not the same. We can't do that. We cannot make them equivalent. This is why a lot of confusion happens on this app, because of clarity when it comes to communication.
What is this covenant? What is the covenant? What are you speaking about the covenant?
Isn't the marriage covenant?
It's not. a covenant.
No, it's not a covenant.
Okay.
And when I started off speaking, I said to acquire God with the lack of knowledge. But if you're acquiring the knowledge, those are our tools. And then you get the understanding of how to use those tools. And with wisdom, you apply those tools. Okay. And it's still where it's being led by God. And if you're spiritual, if you ain't spiritual, you can't sit there all day.
That, but we're talking clearly.
You can sit there all day.
Hold on,
I see what she's saying. So she basically said, like you said, it's a covenant with God, right? So that marriage is you can be married and your marriage not be going through God. It's
right.
When you know what I'm saying?
We're talking about a boyfriend and girlfriend. That's it.
So that's what I'm. Now hold on. Now hold on. Let me say something. Hold on. Let me clear the air real quick. What I'm saying is this: if I'm dating you, and I see certain signs, because here's the funny part: people have this thing with God. He's going to bless me with this woman, right? But sometimes the enemy will also throw the same type of woman at you, and you won't even tell the difference. You would think that it's from God, and it's the problem that people have with these Bible thumpers, and people always be like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Because the problem is, here's another thing I start to understand too. People lean on God so much that they're afraid to even go out there and date. They be like, well, God's supposed to send me somebody. You'll be waiting forever for God to send you somebody if you're not going out there putting in the work to find the person that he has for you. See, that's what it says. Seek and you shall find. If you're not seeking it, how are you going to find it? But you expect for him to just throw it in front of you and put it out and have it knocking on your door. Negative, Batman. At the end of the day, you are supposed to go out there and find your woman, find your wife, which means that you should be walking in your light. This woman should see your light shining as a man. And if she sees that this is a man of God. See, the problem I have with people, with these so-called Christians of today, is the fact that people got to go out there and tell them, I'm a man of God, I live in God, I'm a Christian, this, that, and the third. I, as a man of God, don't need to go out there and tell people who I am. Because if you can't see it, then guess what? then there's something wrong with me. Then I need to fix my spirituality. I need to refurnish myself. I need to relight that light that he has in me. But the problem is people want to have this thing with themselves. They have to keep announcing that they are. If your actions should show me that you are a man of God or a woman of God. You don't have to tell me. The way that you speak, this is what I'm saying as far as having discernment. When you walking in the way that this sister speaks to you, your spirit is going to pick that up and be like, this is the woman of God. Listen to how she's talking to me. And you ain't even got to tell her that or ask her that. You will automatically know. You will get the energy. Your spirit will lead you. But some of y'all are leading your spirit instead of allowing your spirit to lead you. And now you want to be upset at the choices that you make. Talking about, well, if this God, I can't believe you sent me this woman negative. You sent yourself that woman because you as a man led your spirit instead of allowing your spirit to leave you. Let's talk about it.
Yo, bro, it's on with it. Listen, I'm not even finna get into that. That ain't even my lane. I'm gonna say
it ain't my lane neither. But you know,
I've been holding on to this part, but you know, you doing it. No, you cooking. I'm gonna say this for healing. This is just particularly from wisdom to you all that listen in the hallway in the chat for healing. When you get a cut or break a bone, your body responds and you respond a certain way. When that bone is healed and the cut is healed, your body responds a certain way. So healing is, to understand this for people who need to use it, is about response. If you are hurt and you cannot respond differently to the hurt, then it is unhealed. If a cut is still fresh and open on your body, it is unhealed. If it is healed, then you respond and you move differently. That is a simple thing to understand. So when you're saying it's going to take you the next 50 to 100 to 80 years to heal from something that happened, you have a fundamental mental issue. Healing is about response and response only. That is a very simple thing to do biologically, okay, mentally, spiritually. It's about response. How do you respond to what had happened was? After that, that's it. So if you want to take 80 years or 50 years to say to somebody, healing is a lifelong journey, that is a mental health issue. I'm saying it, deal with it how you like, but I'm trying to tell you, once a cut or broken bone is healed, you respond differently. If it ain't healed, you respond differently. That is just human life. And with that, I'm going to land.
So let me do this.
And can I throw this out there real quick?
Yes, come on, brother. Because I want to go to Rail when you're done.
And that healing and that response is a choice.
Yes.
It's a choice. You are choosing to stay. You're peeling the scab off of the wound instead of allowing it to heal.
Say that again. Say that again.
You are peeling the scab off of the wound instead of allowing it to heal. To get to wholeness. I'll give it back to you, Doc.
Come on, brother. Listen, a lot of times that's what people do. They want that quick healing. So they want to peel the scab. But you know what that happens? You are opening up that wound again. And now it ain't even healing properly because you keep put a bandage over your joint. Sometimes you gotta put bandages over your problems. But Rel, good morning. Welcome in.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for allowing me a space on the platform.
Thank you for joining us. So do you have anything you would like to share?
I kind of just came in, so I'm trying to kind of see what direction you guys are going in. But I will say this quickly, as it relates kind of to what you guys are talking about. As a single woman by myself, I have had to tell myself that in the end, if me as a woman anyway, if I obey the scriptures, walk in submission and obedience, I'm going to be good in the end. Whether I receive a husband on earth or in heaven, I'm gonna be a bride in the end, though. And I tell myself that because the goal is trying to be the bride of Christ in the end. So if we obey the scriptures and we walk in submission and obedience to the word of God, you will be a bride in the end. So I will leave it at that. Say that in the end. That'll be my comment anyway. Thank you.
No, I like that. But let me tell y'all women, some of y'all women, this is why I know a lot of women are afraid to date, because they be like, well, I'm just going to be married to God. No, because you have needs. You have certain needs, and everybody has needs. At the end of the day, let's just keep it a buck. I mean, listen, I don't like, I don't like sugarcoating nothing, bro. I got to call a spade for what it truly is.
God want to marry you.
I mean,
God want to be married to you.
that part. You see what I'm saying, Ford? You said it. People are like, I'm married to God, but is he want to be married to you? Because he's like, hold up, I brought you out here. I put all these men on this planet. You trying to tell me you trying to be stuck with me?
But see,
I done showed you all these. I done got. Hold on. What people fail to realize is this, and I'm not saying nobody on this platform. If it don't apply, let it fly. I'm saying in general. You got people that will say, I'm single for reasons. You are single because, number one, you are just truly afraid to be out there. Or number two, you have been hurt to the point where you don't even want to date no more, so you don't even know what it looks like because you've been stuck in your bubble for the entire time. For the past umpteen years, you've been using a healing journey as an excuse. There is somebody for somebody on this planet. Bottom line. Sometimes you just got to find your person. Sometimes you as yourself may even have to alternate yourself because a lot of times we think that we're fine the way that we are. We're not. We're not. Sometimes we got to step out of our own shell and get out of our own way and get out of our own heads instead of saying, I'm comfortable this way. No, sometimes you got to make yourself uncomfortable you got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions to make yourself even more comfortable. But you sit in this comfort zone, and that's terrible because that means what? You're not doing the work. I'm in a comfort zone. You're not doing no real work because the real work starts when you take your behind out of that comfort zone and make yourself uncomfortable. Then you can truly see the work that you put in. Wow, I'm actually cool where I'm at. Sometimes you got to change, and I'm talking to some of y'all women. I'm going to go with women first. Some of y'all women walk around with these sweatpants and your hair in a ponytail. Get out of that. That's not comfortability. That means you settled. Stop settling. Some of y'all are too beautiful for your own self and don't even realize it because you don't have nobody speaking that life into you. So you don't even speak it into yourself. First of all, everything starts with self. So you must tell yourself when you wake up in the morning, I am beautiful. I am gorgeous. I am amazing. And guess what I'm going to also do? I'm not going to put on these baggy old sweats. I'm not going to dress like no old lady no more. I'm going to put some little bit of makeup on. I'm going to get my hair done. I'm going to throw in this outfit that's been sitting in my closet for the past umpteen years that I claim that I can't squeeze into. Put it on. Go outside and change it. If you know the beauty of it is when you start changing your appearance, you get different results. When you walk around the same way, you're going to get the same damn results. Same thing with men. Brothers, change your appearance, change your stance, change your friends, change the way that you walk. Move different. Sometimes you don't always have to be in a crowd. Move by yourself. Change everything about you should change. You shouldn't get older. And the more that you get older, the more secluded you get. Stop getting animals.
Yeah.
Get somebody else to walk your dog. Get somebody else to feed your cat. Stop talking to your animals as if they're human beings. Move on with yourself. Get on with your life because you're going to be stuck with all of these things that you have, and you're going to be in a bubble.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm gonna pass it from here. Is marriage a covenant? Yes. In religious and philosophical and traditional legal framework, marriage is considered a covenant rather than merely a standard of a legal contract. While two terms are often interchangeable in everyday speech, they can carry distinct structural and moral differences. Contract, built on mutual self-interest. Covenant, built on mutual sacrifice and deep commitment. So when we sit here and say things on these interwebs, because we have the right to do so, everybody has the right to opinion, but nobody has the right to be wrong within facts.
That part. I'll bring you back 62. Come on, who said they wanted to talk?
So I want to piggyback off what you said, brother, because you said something about you got to get yourself out there, all that jazz. And for the longest time after I got divorced. I'm like, I ain't doing this again. I ain't dating nobody. This whole relationship thing is for the birds. I'm not doing it no more. Then you said something that reminded me of like what this last season has been for me. Not only did I go through therapy, but I started going to Bible study and I started hanging around good-hearted, good men that, will steward you in the way that you're supposed to go, in the way that you're supposed to be, right? Most of the guys that I hang out with now in my area have been married for 15, 20 plus years. And it's been an eye opener for me because it's allowed me to realize that I might not have been ready then, but they're definitely encouraging me and letting me know, just like you said, brother, there's somebody for somebody out here. When that happens is when it happens, right? However, the two things that I can contribute to changing my mindset from a year ago to now is one, clearly therapy, and then two, having the right kind of individuals. Because I'd rather have quality men in my circle than just have 100 of whatever's out there. I'd rather have 4 good, solid men in my life that's going to keep me in check than have 100 yes men. Because them 100 yes men ain't going to do nothing but keep me in trouble. And it ain't worth it. And then it ain't going to solve anything. It's going to keep me in my same box. It's going to keep me in my same rotation. And what's the definition of insanity? You keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Amen.
So I'd rather have 4 good men in my life on a constant than constantly check on me every day, make sure that they pray for me, and I pray for them. Like these 4 individuals that I have in my life now for the last year and a half clearly have changed my outlook on life. Then on top of that, you wonderful little heathens on this panel too. You know, y'all done it.
Nah, bro, you got it. The thing of what people got to understand is this. You know, sometimes it's the people that you surround yourself is the one that keep you where you at too as well. You have to change. You have to change your circle. And for me, I tried to create a circle that didn't work. But what I had to do, I had to sit back and allow. Because of me, I'm a praying man, so I had to pray and get discernment. And he was like, you know what? I'm gonna show you what a circle supposed to look like. It's a big difference from me creating the circle and him creating this and him showing me what the circle looked like. He just showed me, but he said, listen, you got to walk into the circle. I'm gonna present it to you, and this is the thing that people understand. A lot of times, things can be presented to us that we don't even see it because it's not what we want to see, and we miss the mark and we miss the blessings because a lot of times he'll present certain things in our face, and guess what? He opens up that blessing door, but we ain't walking through that door. So he gonna close that door. Now we gotta walk down this corridor and wait for him to open up another blessing for us because we keep missing the mark. Same thing in our relationship. Same thing when it comes to dealing with men and women. We think that, guess what? This is the woman for me. This is the man for me. This is my person. Negative, Batman. That is not your person. That is a person that you created. That is a fabricated person that you have created, and now you stuck with it. Prime example, when people say, oh, I don't believe in marriage. Why do we got to get married? Why you shacking up? You don't want to marry the woman, but you want all the duties. Then what's the purpose of not marrying them? So then why are you holding on to answer me that question. Why is it that people say they don't want to get married, but yet they want to live together and do everything that a married couple does except for get married? Make it make sense. And then talk about, well, 2 people live together and not be married. No, that's the false narrative that man has projected into your brain.
But even if that's the case, right? You said 2 people can live together and not get married legally. Y'all get mail together, pay bills together, file taxes together. Guess what you are legally? You married. You is common law, whether you go to the courthouse or not, you married.
But what I'm saying is this: it don't make sense because my thing is this: if we're living together and we're not married, and I got kids and you got kids, guess what? If I die, you ain't getting squat. And don't let me have adult kids, because if I own the house and you don't own nothing in there, your behind gotta go. Because
and you know what, Phil? That's what makes what Dee was breaking down about covenant so important. I mentioned this the other day when we were online. I've known people to be together 10, 15 years, finally decide to get married and enter into that covenant, and within a year or 2, they're divorced. And I'm like, well, you would wonder, why is that happening? It's something sacred about that union, and the enemy, the devil, will target that thing. He was cool with you shacking. He was cool with you doing everything like a married couple. But once you threw that covenant on it, and you stood before God, whether it was the judge or whether it was at a facility or whatever, you now entered into something spiritually that's spiritually binding. that's spiritually connected. And now all hell breaks loose because why? You actually have not been tested in this area. And challenges are going to come to determine the type of confession you made to each other and to yourself. It's all dandy when everything is going right. Money in the bank is Friday. You just got, the Smex is good, everything cool. But challenge is going to come to see if you can remain. And this is why the curriculum of heaven for his sons and daughters is to challenge us. I'll land with this. There's a scripture in the Bible in Judges chapter 2, verse 10. It says, God left enemies in the promise. So we looking at God for promises. Oh, he's going to send me my man. But we want to avoid the challenge that's going to come with the promise. And in the scriptures, he says, I left enemies in the promise to see what Israel will do. He want to see what you're going to do. Oh, you want to get married now? Here comes a challenge. Oh, you didn't see this hiding behind the mask. You didn't see that he don't clean up. You didn't see that she bad with money. You didn't see that she got an attitude problem. You didn't see that he lazy and really, you know what I'm saying? Now, how much are you invested in this person? How much do you actually love them? We're going to challenge that and see.
You know what I have a problem with right now? And I'm sitting here thinking, and God is crazy. He has a sense of humor. He got me thinking about, you got all these people on this app that's telling you that's teaching y'all about relationship, but ain't teaching y'all about marriage, teaching y'all how to stay hooked up, but ain't teaching y'all how to get to the point. I'm gonna say it again. You got all these men and women, a lot of these brothers out here telling y'all women what it's like to be in a relationship with a man, but ain't telling y'all what it's like to be a wife. Ain't teaching y'all how to be wives. Ain't telling you. I'm trying to tell you, they will sit there, like I said, the phoniness, the propaganda that these brothers be and then be telling you, you don't have to be married to do that. You don't have to. What's the purpose of it? What is the purpose then? What is the purpose of living together? What is the purpose of being in a long-term relationship with somebody if there's no end game? If you have no end game, they're teaching you and they're telling you all these things about relationships. But where is it? Where is the end game about you should be in a relationship? And guess what? Until you find the right man to marry you, you shouldn't really be dating multiple men. Bottom line. And until you find the right woman that you consider a wife, you should not be dating multiple women. Bottom line. What you should be doing is teaching men and women how to be courted and men how to court. Where's that at? Where's the fabric of that? That is gone. Gone.
Cussing now. That's a cuss word. Courting.
Sometimes, baby, God do want you for himself. So like the sister was saying at the bottom, it's times God, it's okay with you just being with God. That ain't who better than God?
Because you know why he wants you for himself? Because he sees something in you that you don't see in yourself, and he's about to put this work in you to make you worthy for someone.
Right, but
if you're not married, you are to be with God.
Exactly, that part.
Let me land. So it's okay for somebody to go through a situation and they, you know what, I'm gonna just focus on God. Because who better than God? Nobody. No man, no woman, no dog, no cat. So if a woman or a man say, you know what, ain't nobody on this earth for me but God, that's okay, because if we know God being a selfish God, so that's okay. But I also say to men and women, I'm gonna land with this again, and I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna let see who they call themselves God. There's a lot of folks out here say they praying to God and God. But which God you talking about?
You better ask somebody. Come on, brother.
Now, some of us are talking about God, read scripture. I'm talking about Jesus Christ.
Hello.
Now, a lot of other guys who y'all talking about, it's two or three are gathered. He's in the midst.
That's right.
And my words ain't my word. My life ain't my life. It don't belong to me. So I preach the word to anybody. If you call me a preacher, I'll be there. I'd rather be there than the N-word. I'd rather be there than a dog. I'd rather be there than a rich man. But at the end of the day, man, if anybody want to just be with God, he's the better vessel for anybody. There ain't no wrong with that. For anybody, brother, sister, or sister who going through a lot of things in her life, and I think different. If it take her years to get it together, she been so tired for somebody for years to heal. Then that healing process, the only person going to heal her is God. Same thing that man who been locked up for 10 years who ain't seen his kids. Man, who lost faith in everybody. The only one person going to heal him is God. Not Father himself. Because himself put him in there. Or himself put himself down there. That's what the world want to tell us to do. Believe in ourselves. No, believe in Jesus Christ. Believe God. Believe his Father. We believing in the wrong thing, bro. We lost for real. We got all the answers. We got all the dictionaries. We can look up. just be for real. Sit back and like Russ said earlier, but be still. Sometimes what we all need to be praying about is when he comes, please don't pass me by. Sorry for the non-believers. I'm talking to the believers, my brothers and sisters in Christ. Get right with him. And it says in the Bible, we keep talking about husbands and wives. It's he who finds a wife, not a girlfriend, a wife. So she's a wife before I meet her. Because she got a relationship with God.
If.
Amen. So, man,
Amen. No, I love that, brother, and I love your passion. Nah, you good. Listen, man, you good.
Holy Spirit had me leading, bro. The Holy Spirit, when it move. And that's one thing I want to say. I'm going to land on this. We got to let the Holy Spirit lead our spirit, not our spirit lead us. Come on, man. That's why he left from here. He left the Holy Spirit for us. Stop leaning on your own understanding. Get right. You lean on your own spirit, your own identity, your own. You build your own castle. You got your wife. You got your own kid. And all that can be taken. Talk to your boy Joe. Come on now, man. Y'all, man. Come on, let's be for real. All this platform, money, bags, clothes, kids, nothing belongs to you. Look up what's built. Since we looking up to look up stewardship, everything go back to him. Come on, man. Man, I'm speaking on. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on Bible. Watch out, man.
And I am too, and that's why I understand.
I'm down to myself every day because I know I lie, I lust, I look, I do everything. This flesh is weak, but my spirit's strong. That's what I'm trying to get back at. That's what we all should try to get to. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Nothing on this planet else matters. Instead of waking up in the morning saying, I just being different. Instead of waking up in the morning saying, man, thank God, I look good again. No, thank God I'm here. I don't care how I look. Thank God you woke me up. Thank God I don't need to say thank God I can get this support. No, thank God you woke me up. Don't be looking in the mirror telling me you look good. No, thank God. Because you made roll call, man. Somebody didn't make it, bro. What we talking about?
Thank God for listening, so that way
we can talking about, bro?
Well, what we talking about is this. I respect what you're saying.
And I love all y'all. I love y'all in the comments.
Hold on. Love all his passion, but again, we're straying away from the actual discussion.
My thing is this, right? I respect what the young brother's saying, and I respect his passion. But I'm also a firm believer of this. A lot of times, people tend to find themselves, and this is nothing against you, young brother. I'm just saying what I got to say. A lot of times, people get very passionate over Christ because of all the things that they have done, and they are afraid to admit their faults. So now they want to use God as a crutch and as an excuse. So once again, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying in general. This is what happens when men and women when they like telling people how they're supposed to live their lives. But it's not my job to tell you how you're supposed to live your life. It's your choice and your choice only. At the end of the day, we all have free will to move how we want to move. My walk with Christ and everybody else's walk with Christ is totally different from yours and from mine. So I can tell a person how I'm moving and tell a person how I'm living, but it's truly none of their business how I'm telling them how I'm moving. At the end of the day, if you can't see how I'm moving and how I'm living, then something's wrong with you. And maybe there's nothing wrong with you. Maybe you're just not looking that hard. And I'm not going to sit here and tell somebody, well, you're wrong for this, you're wrong for that. We all have a choice to make in this life. We all have our own walk. Like I said before, everybody walk with God is different. We're not all walking the same, because if we were all walking the same, we would all be doing the same things. And we're not. So we got to be careful how we speak and how we talk to others. And it sounds good when you're doing it. I respect it. I totally respect how you move. And I respect how anybody move when it comes to Christ. But at the same time, it's a choice that we make. If I choose to walk slower than you, you can't blame me. If I choose to chase money, you can't blame somebody for that. If I choose to chase women, that's my cross to bear. I'm not here to pick up nobody else's cross because I can't. And we shouldn't put ourselves in a situation where we're trying to tell people, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. No, that means you're not giving them a choice. You're choosing God for people instead of them choosing it themselves. When we tell people you need to do this, you need to do that, that's me already telling you what you need to do and not you doing it yourself. I'm not here to tell you what you need to do. I'm just what he said. Once again, Go ye to all the world and preach my gospel, which means speak my word. Don't tell people about, speak my word. So we're still doing it wrong. Even for those that are Bible thumpers, even for those that are true believers, we're still doing it wrong, because I'm telling you what you should be doing instead of teaching you the word of God, so that way you can receive them for yourself. So we got to be careful when we speaking and when we talking about Christ, and when we laying these things down, trying to lay down laws about the Lord, hands down. Thus saith the Lord. At the end of the day, I am not God, but I know who he, and I know whom I serve. Bottom line.
I had a praying grandmother.
So we got to be careful. And I love, like I said before, I love the passion. But see, this is where sometimes you got to sit back and think about some of the things that you're telling people. Because once again, if I'm not teaching, I'm not reaching. If I'm just talking, I'm just talking. Talk is cheap. Teaching is a whole different thing. I should have been picking up, you should be picking up the word and say, listen, let me tell you, grab your Bible. Let's have Bible study. Let me show you where certain things where you don't understand. Let me give you understanding. What is his main word? What does God say? A man must do what? Meditate in his word day and night. Day and night. Day and night. So that means if I'm meditating in the word and the word is within me, that word is going to be seen when I'm walking. That word is going to come out of my mouth when I'm talking. You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference. As I'm walking, as I'm saying things, as I'm moving, even when I approach a woman. When I approach a woman, she's going to see the spirit within me. And she's going to know. That's why certain women run away from brothers of Christ, real men of fright, real men, because they see, he ain't the type of brother for me. I'm not ready for that man. And when it comes to being a husband, you as an individual have to be prepared to be a husband. It ain't he who finds a wife. No, he who finds himself first. You got to find you in order to find a wife. Because that means you got to let go of all those childish things, all those foolish things. All that stuff comes into play. I got to change my walk. I got to change my talk. I got to change my friends. I got to change my stance. Let me say that again. I got to change my walk. I got to change my talk. I got to change my train of thought. I got to change my friend. I got to revamp who I am to prepare myself to be with one woman, which means I got to let go of all that childish stuff, all the players' ways, all the going to the club, all the hanging out, all that stuff got to go. I am a new individual walking into something now. Here I am prepared to meet my bride. Now, this woman has to be prepared to do the same things, but the only difference with her is she has to be still. So once she's still, that allows me to find there she go right there. Come here, baby. Now I'm going to court you. I don't want to lay with you. I'm going to court you, which means we're going to have conversations. I'm going to get to know you. You coming into my world, so I want you to get to know me and understand and see what you're about to deal with. To see if you're worthy enough as a woman to deal with my crap, because that's what it's all about. See, we're doing things backwards. We're listening to all the wrong people telling us all the wrong things, because people think about it like this. Half these so-called coaches, whatever the case may be, that be on here talking about, your man this and the man this and your woman that. What are they telling you about marriage? They're not talking about your marriage, or they're not even trying to introduce you to marriage because they want you to stay single. So is that God's work or is that man work? Let's call a spade a spade. I land there.
It's good coffee. This was good coffee, boy.
I have a quick comment I want to make.
Yeah, my cup is fire.
I think that, Deb, I don't know, see your full name, but I think that you are not wrong. But I also think there's another side to this, that a lot of people use God as an excuse
Come on.
to stay stuck where they're at.
Say that again. Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again.
A lot of people use God as an excuse to stay where they're at. And I think that us being zealous sometimes is not wrong, but we can also harm that person by not asking the right questions. We can preach to them and say, you should absolutely stay alone and seek God. That is not wrong. However, why are you choosing to stay alone? Is it because I am seeking God, or is it because men are no good and I'm hurt? So it's okay to preach the word, I think, but you also have to be able to be wise in the questions that you ask, because you can be promoting somebody to stay where they're at and no change. And I think that's where there's a difference in, is this an excuse or are you really seeking God?
Come on now. You better. Hi, Tiana. What's up, sister? Come on, Ray. You better go ahead.
I think we harm people, but we have good intentions, but we're really harming people. And it's not that we're bad, but it's more of a self-reflection. How should I approach this differently?
But here's the better question is this. Are we harming people or are people harming themselves by trying to use God as an excuse, as a scapegoat, because they don't really want to face reality? Come on, Fort.
Well, it's easy to blame something. Now, y'all know I'm a believer, but it's easy to blame something you can't see. It's easy to blame an abstract ideology of something and still lack responsibility.
Wait, can you run that back again? People missing on it. Run that back.
Come on, you blame an abstract ideology of a concept rather than take on the responsibility of your own actions. The Bible I read says, work out your own soul salvation. It's your work you got to do. You're responsible. Many people are praying for things that they don't have the capacity to carry, and they're wondering why they don't get an answer. He's not going to just answer your prayers. You got to have the capacity. So that means there's got to be an internal work in you that you do to carry that which you're praying for. I want a good man, but you're trash. You're not a good woman. I want a good woman, but you're trash. You're not a good man. You got to build the capacity to carry the thing that you're praying for. And many of us, that's why the Bible says you pray amiss. You don't even know what to pray for because you're not in alignment. You don't have an identity, and you're running around here leaving a bunch of bodies in your wake because you are undecided and don't have clarity, and you're incomplete. We gotta get back to wholeness. Get off the road and arrive at your destination. I'm headed to Maryland right now. Eventually, I'm going to arrive there. I'm not just going to keep driving until I get off the edge of the earth. Wholeness is the destination, and we can't forget that on the journey to healing.
Clock it. Clock it. That's my thing. Clock it. Listen, all I'm saying is this. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say it no more. I want to go to some of the sisters. What's up, Jen? What's up, Tiana? Welcome in, ladies.
I don't know whose next. I don't want to be.
You got it. I mean, I just called two names. Whoever jumped off the mic first. Let's get it. Come on.
I'm very happy that I stumbled across this side of TikTok. I find that I've seen your live. I've been following you for a while. Mostly it's men, so I try to stay out of men's business. I stumbled across it this morning on the co-host that it looks like his live. So I'm glad that I did. What I will say is this. A lot of times we are trying to get information and gather resources from people who cannot spiritually discern. And then we wonder why our relationships are not looking like how God wants them to look. I heard you talking about earlier when you first started your live about accountability. And accountability is a God concept. Being able to look inwardly, introspectively at yourself and not point fingers is a mature concept and a God concept. Someone was just talking, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at my phone, but the scripture I thought about is when he says, when a man's ways please him, he gives him the desires of their heart. And we misquote that all the time, thinking, oh, if I please God, he gonna give me my, Christmas list of what I desire. That's not what that means. It means when I please God, he'll show me what to desire. And a lot of times we're not getting what we want from God because our desires are not aligned with what his will is. If we're in step with God, then he tells us what to desire. And I will tell you my morning devotion this morning, right after I got off devotion, I got on TikTok and the first live I saw was those men praying. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, say those men, but it was a reminder to me that God has a remnant of people who still seek him. And not only that, God, I can't find a good man. I can't figure out, well, where are you looking for them? If your ways please him, he'll show you what to desire. Maybe what your desire is somebody who don't even know who God is. And I think a lot of times we, especially women in the church, and I'm a PK and a minister, all these great things, but a lot of times we see the majority and not the minority, and we just assume, God, there's nobody left. Let me settle for somebody who doesn't even know what your voice is. But I heard God loud and clear on that prayer, whoever was praying this morning. And God literally said to me, when your ways please me, I will show you what to desire. You're looking for something that, it exists, But there are men who actually are walking circumspectly. They're seeking you with their whole heart. They're doing that first. They're not leading after what they think they should have. And I don't want to yap up here, but I just want to tell you guys, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because you don't know who's watching. I got literally out of my prayer time, it came right on to that live. I've never even seen this live before. It tagged me in it because Velvet was up there and I follow him. And I said to myself, there is a remnant of men who still seek God. There's a remnant of men who are not married for the wrong reasons. And you're so right. There's so many coaches on here. And I'm on a lot of channels talking about my books and all these things. And I can't understand why people don't understand spiritual concepts. But you have to be aligned spiritually for that. So thank you guys for doing what you do. I'm gonna hang around for a little bit.
You're good.
But I'm grateful for what I saw and heard this morning. So
Well, thank you. Well, let me say something to some of y'all real quick. And this is going to some of y'all women. I'm gonna say it and then I'm gonna go to the men because I always do this respectfully. Ladies, if you are a certain type of way and you want this high class masculine so-called man and you don't fit that criteria, that is not the man for you. I'm sorry, but not sorry. If you're walking around like a housemaid, but this brother is clean cut, he's in shape, he got his body chiseled, and you know that you ain't built like that for that man, you can't expect that. I know they'd be like, well, that's the type of man that God has for me. No, that's your imagination. That is built off of your imagination. Some of y'all are not built to be with these type of men, and some of these men are not built to be with these type of women, brother. If you know you are 700 pounds and you bloated, but you want a swimsuit model, you know you don't fit that criteria, bro. And you can't sit there, God, I want me a woman. You ain't even taking care of yourself, so how you expect for you to be with somebody that's taking care of themselves? It don't work. Stop with the fairy tale crap. I'm speaking truth, and I'm telling y'all, people be thinking, well, God's supposed to bless me. Yeah, but your desires is food. So how can he bless you with somebody their desires is not food? Their desires is taking care of their body, their health, their physique, all of this stuff. But yours is just sitting there want to eat. But you want to sit there and talk about, well, this is the person God has for me. Well, God, why hasn't you blessed me with that? Because you ain't taking care of yourself. You ain't putting in the work. It's when he said God knows your heart. Yes, you're right, Reese. And your heart is all about food. So he's going to compare you with somebody like to eat too. Stop with this fairy tale. I deserve. We don't deserve nothing. Let me rephrase this real quick. People sit there and talk about the type of men and women they deserve. You don't deserve nothing. Nothing. None of us do. He's doing it by grace, mercy. Bottom line. You think that you deserve this type of woman because that's the type of man that you are. You think that you deserve this type of man because that's the type of woman that you are. You don't deserve nothing but what you got. Period. Because the one thing you should be deserving, I deserve to be with you, Christ. That should be the first thing and only thing you should truly want to deserve. But we want everything else. What we think that we deserve, what we think that we're supposed to have access to. Y'all got the game too. Y'all lost. A lot of people are lost.
So
Can I say something to that, Velvet?
Hi, Jen. Of course you can. Welcome. I'll wait for you to speak.
Thank you. And someone who is in the health and wellness industry, I'll say this, and I want to talk to the ladies first. One of the things that I do on TikTok every single morning is I get up and I do a get ready with me. Am I doing it to draw attention? Am I doing it to draw a crowd? The answer is no. I'm doing it because so many women do not get up and get themselves ready every day. And I heard you talking about that earlier. And the funny part is when I get up and I get ready on these lives, they're like, where are you going? Why do I have to be going somewhere to get up and do my hair, to get up and put a little makeup on, to get up and get dressed, to get up and not, and to put on an outfit to work from home? Here's the thing. When you don't get yourself ready, you're not ready for anything. You're not ready for a man to walk in your life. You're not ready to walk out that door. If somebody showed up at the door, you're not ready to
say that again. Wait. Hold on, Jen. Run that back, Jen. Run it back, Jen.
You are not ready for anything if you don't get yourself up and get ready every single day.
Can you say it one more time?
And she's talking to your lady. This is a lady. It's a woman talking to woman. So you ain't hearing it from no man, please.
But this is for men too. If y'all don't get ready every single day, you are not ready for anything. And I'm going to use this as an example.
Okay, there's a lot of you that work from home and your boss is like, hey, I need to talk to you, right? I'll do that to my employees sometimes. Hey, I need to talk to you. Can you turn your camera on? Oh crap, I didn't get ready today. Oh, so you're not really ready to do business anyway.
Come on, sis.
If you're not ready to show your face on that camera and get on that screen, you're not even ready to do your job. You should be able to get ready and you should be able to feel good about yourself. If you are not getting ready, something's going on internally in your heart, where you don't feel like you are worth it. Where you don't feel like you are worth it. And again, like I said, when I get up and I get ready on these live, everyone's like, where are you going? I'm just getting ready today. Why do I got to be going somewhere?
You better talk to
I
me.
want to feel good about myself. But here's the other thing. When you don't get ready like that and you show up on social media, and there's a lot of y'all on here, even some of you ladies that get in this live thinking one of these men are going to choose you, but yet you want to get on here and you want to come with your hair in the bonnet. You want to come not dressed. You want to come laying in the bed. You want to come doing this and you want to come doing that. Nobody on here is looking for that. That is a stable person. And I'm just going to say that. The other thing about the whole health, right? I used to be a size 18-20.
Damn.
I used to be a size 18-20. And I will say this, did I start out that way? No, I didn't start out that way. I went through a really bad separation and I gained all of my weight. When I gained all of that weight, I will tell you, and this is just the reality of life, and this may sound mean to some of y'all that aren't healthy, men or women. Nobody paid attention to me when I was a bigger woman. When I got healthy, people started paying attention again. Now, am I one of those where I was like, oh no, you didn't like me when I was a big girl, you don't like me now? Absolutely, because that's how the mindset works. But at the end of the day, you need to take care of your health. Because here's the other thing. If you guys are out there looking for these men and you want this healthy man and oh, he's got the muscles and that, I'm telling you right now, if you are not healthy, he's not looking at you. He's not. And that's just the reality of life. And again, like I said, that's not to be mean. You need to get healthy for yourself. You need to love yourself. And part of the problem of that is we have a codependency issue in this country, in this world, where a lot of us, we sit around people that do not love themselves either. Okay? We sit around people that do not love themselves. And what are we looking for? We're looking for those people to agree with our lifestyles and to be like, oh yeah, that's okay. Or yeah, I wouldn't do that either. Oh yeah, he did this. Girl, you need to drop him. And we sit there in these environments with these people. Proverbs 13:20 says, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm.
Come on, Jen.
You better get, girl.
Back one more time. One more time.
Proverbs 13:20, walk with the wise and become wise, for a companion of fools suffers harm. Okay? So if you all want to sit there with these people that are going to be yes ma'am people in your toxic world, in your toxic environment, you are going to sit there and continue to live in that codependency with those people, okay? Which means you do not love yourself. You just want people to agree with your toxicity. You do not want to change your environment. You are uncomfortable being alone. And if you're uncomfortable being alone, you are never going to heal. You are never going to heal. You have to sit with yourself and say, yes, like you were talking about earlier, Velvet, I was in this relationship and I chose to stay because I have a codependency issue and I am not healed. Okay. Fortunate thing for me, I love being by myself. I was a foster kid, so I had to be independent in the beginning. So that's where I got lucky with that, where God put me in that situation. So I understood what it was like to be alone. So I knew how I had to heal, go to therapy and so forth, right? The majority of my friends can't do that. I've got a friend that's on her third marriage. She about to be on the fourth because she did not take the time to heal herself, love herself, and know what her self-worth looked like. And men, you all do the same thing. You want to jump from woman to woman, thinking that they are going to fulfill these needs, right? You get your little need met from a sexual side of things, and then you got to move on to the next because, oh, now I can get her. Now I can get her. What is that doing? That is fulfilling a broken part of you that is not whole yet because you are choosing not to do that work. But also what's happening, y'all are like, oh, I don't got guy friends. Well, why don't you have men friends? Because you don't want to be held accountable. Ladies, oh, I don't do girls. Why? Because you don't want a close-knit group of women that are going to hold you accountable, right? That company corrupts good morals, and you guys have to keep that in mind. So again, like they say, would you rather have 4 quarters or 100 pennies? So you just got to think about, what is the circle I'm sitting in? Why do I think I'm not worth it? Why can't I go to therapy? Why can't I heal parts of me that need to be healed? And why is it so uncomfortable for me to be alone? So I want you to think about those things. And this is, again, men and women. Get up, get ready every day, start feeling good about yourself, get your workouts in, start eating healthy. McDonald's ain't gonna be doing that for you. And at the end of the day, you're gonna start feeling better about yourself, which then in turn is gonna say, am I in the right environment, the right people, and am I truly doing what God is asking me to do in my life? That's all I got to say.
You said enough. You said enough.
How do you follow that? You don't.
You can't.
How do you don't follow that?
That's Vince Carter, man. You don't go after Vince.
Don't. You let that sit.
Yo, first of all, let me tell you this. I love it because it came from a woman. And she was speaking into other women. I'm gonna say that again. I love it because it came from a woman to other women, and hopefully that these women can understand it. Because had I said all that, it would have been a whole nother situation. But then again, it's me, and I would have said it. But I'm glad that you said it, and you said it in such a way, because when I say things, I'm aggressive. I'm this, that, and the third. So you were absolutely right about what you said. I even told my boy what I said this morning, D. I ain't feel like going to the gym, but I went and I got the best workout. You know why? Because the days that you don't feel like doing something will be the best. The days that you don't feel like, I don't feel like working out, I don't feel like going for a walk, I don't feel like doing this. When you decide to get up and just do it, you don't realize the best experience you have when the time that you don't feel like doing something. Now, I say that to say this. There are a lot of women and men that let themselves go because they don't feel like doing certain things, and it becomes a habit where I don't want to do it no more, and I'm just comfortable like this.
Hey, Velvet, real quick, let me ask you this, brother to brother. Let's pretend nobody else is here, and you guiding me through something. Have you always felt your needs?
Hell yeah. I felt my needs all the time.
No, not failed. Felt.
Oh, felt my needs?
Yeah, like you feel like you needed to pay your light bill, or you feel you needed to be at work on time, or you feel like you needed to read your Bible. Have you always felt your needs?
No.
But you just knew you needed.
But I knew I need. Yeah, exactly.
But when the time came when you didn't feel like doing something and you did what you felt opposite, and you did it anyway, you found out you needed to do that thing.
Correct. That was like this morning. I felt like I didn't need to go to the gym, but when I went there, I'm like, damn, I needed this. Because what people fail to realize is when you, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna use the gym as a perfect example. When you feel like you don't need to do something and you actually get up and you do it, the reward is even better, because you feel better about what you just did, even though you felt like you didn't need to do it. I don't need it. I don't need to get up and go do that right now. But then when you get up and when you actually just put the work in, and that's what it's called, putting in the work, putting in the proper work. What's up, Donovan? A lot of times we're not willing to put the proper work in. We just want to go do the bare minimum. Like right now, my mindset is, I got to talk, Donovan. I'm gonna get with you later on about. I'm gonna hit you up later on about something. There's something that I've been putting off for a while, and I came up and I even came up with an excuse about it. I'm not gonna speak on it because I already talked to my brother Donovan about it, and I made an excuse about it. Like, this is the reason why, but I'm not even fighting myself. I'm telling myself, like, why am I making an excuse about something that I can do? I know I could do it. I'm just making an excuse not to do it. And these are things that people do. I know I can fix myself. I know I can do certain things, but they just keep putting it off and they settle. I'm saying this to men and women: stop settling. Stop settling. Get out of your comfort zone. Sometimes we got to get up and walk away. We got to wake up and get out of our own self and get out of our own way and get out of our own heads, because that's what's keeping us. We're stuck in our own mind, and we don't want to get. We don't want to get. We're trapped. We are prisoners in our own thoughts, and don't even realize it.
And you know what, Val? I wanted to say something real fast, man. Jen, Mother Jen, she just broke out a lot of things, man, that really spoke to my heart. And one of the things is that's part of the reason why I'm currently single. I know a lot of people say that. You might have two men say, I'm single for this. Another one says, I'm single for that. But I feel like I don't want to present this version of myself to the woman of my dreams, to the one that I'm planning on spending an eternity with, and the rest of my life with. So it's not that I'm trying to arrive at perfection, but just as Jen was saying, I want to do the work. And one of the things I noticed, you know, because the way I look at the Bible, I use the Bible as a principle. It's not just stories to me. I'll quote this principle, and then my goal is to live it. In the Bible, when God made Adam, Adam didn't know that he was alone. He was just doing the work. He was in the garden tilling. He was managing it. He was naming the animals. It was God who declared, hey, it's not good that this man be alone. And a lot of men are not in that position to have that declared about them. So they need to be alone.
Right.
There's a season where you have to get away. You know, Jesus disappeared for some odd years, from 12 to 30, because he had to become. And I think that we're missing that process of becoming. And then, like you said earlier, Val, we think we deserve it. And I love what Jen said. And like you said, I'm so glad it came from a woman, because we would have got crucified had we said that type of stuff to women or, you know, guys and stuff. It's like, yo, you got to do the work before you get the result. You got to build the capacity before you get the thing which is going to go inside of it. And a lot of times we miss out on those opportunities, and now we're blame shifting, and we haven't developed ourselves. I'll say this on our land. The day that you plant the seed is not the same day that you eat the fruit thereof. The version of you that receives the dream, the assignment, is not the version of you that can fulfill it. You have to become. You have to develop yourself. You have to get to this place, because if you don't, it's just going to be excuses you're made, and you're wondering why you are not matching and aligning with people.
I want to say thank you to Tiana, because I did see it this morning, but thank you for being present, because one of the things is that I always strive for on this particular platform, which I despise. Hear me, I hate TikTok, okay? But because of obedience and what I've gotten from it.
But it loves you.
No, it don't.
Yes, it does. Donovan always choosing violence. Always choosing violence.
Don't love me. I don't love you.
Yes, TikTok loves you.
But to Tiana, thank you, and to Jen, and of course Rain, my girl. So many women that have actually came through and have acknowledged and started to see what exactly is being said, right? It's getting to see a brother like Donovan, getting to see a brother like Ford, get to see the married man like Velvet, get to see all these good credibles, get to hear wisdom, like get to see these brothers in PR and Top and so many other good brothers that are connected, like great, really great, genuine individuals. It is a blessing to be amongst these men. It is a blessing to see that, like I sit up here and I'm like, dog, when the day comes that my brother answers the phone, say, hey man, let me call you back because the wife want me to do X, Y, and Z. The day I'm gonna shout and celebrate my brother. The day I'm gonna shout and celebrate my brother because of the 10 minutes of silence and going into prayer. It's meaningful. Like the things we learned just by doing. I didn't know a lot of these things were a corrective thing. I just knew I was told to do it. And then I found out, oh, this does that. Had no idea. I'm today years old when I find out these things. And to have my brothers be alongside and get that same information, I tell women and I tell people in general, to bear witness is a gift. To bear witness is a gift. And if you don't believe me, just imagine what your life would have been like if you would have been able to bear witness to Jesus walking on water.
They wouldn't have believed it, brother. They wouldn't believe it, man. Don't even act that way. I love it. I hear you. I understand what you mean by it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Jesus came down right now. He is not gonna be fresh to death, and he's not gonna be accepted by a majority of the people who say they follow him. And I'm gonna be real with you, and that is real talk. Because you know why? He's gonna be one in the category with every other person that has come across their life and come across their life, in their algorithm of life, right? They're going to step over him. They're going to walk past him. They're going to ignore him. They're going to shame him. They're going to do whatever it is, and that's men and women. Period. Point blank.
The beauty of it is, I'm glad you said that, because here's the thing, right? I'm gonna try to tie it back to what we were talking about, what the main topic was. A lot of times, people will make an excuse. They will sit back and they will see him and don't even recognize who he is, because of course you got this discernment. This is who you serve, right? This is who you praying to, but you you feel what I'm saying? Let's just be real. Like, this is the reason why I say what I say. He'll be in your presence, in your midst. Well, you know he's in the midst. How do you know he's in the midst? Just because the word of God says something, but that don't mean that you live in that. Well, you know, when two or three in agreement, he's in the midst. Yeah, but it's 2 or 3 people that truly believe and see and know the Spirit. It's a difference, because it could be 2 or 3 of us sitting there talking about Christ and talking about God, but that don't mean he's there if we're not true believers, if we're not true believing followers of the word. So once again, this is where people getting it wrong. I think, you know what, God, are you using me to give them the right tools on this? Like, I don't know. The people need to open their eyes and recognize, like, on some real.
To stir up violence, talking about food, because that's all I work out for. I work out for food.
Greedy.
Yeah, this chest and this shirt look good, and these arms look. I don't care about none of that.
Greedy.
I just don't want to be hunkering over a piece of cheesecake.
You know what?
Come on, Wisdom. Hit me with it.
Man, I'm choosing violence first thing Monday, because
let's go.
You know, listen, it's not that I don't appreciate the love of what's going on, but all I say is, again, even if you took this Hebrew story out of this Hebrew book, and you have not yet learned the etymology of any of the words that you all are talking about, nor have you understood the dynamic of how this went from the Hebrew to the Septuagint to the Vulgate, and you haven't studied, and you don't have the correct copy of the book or the stories,
come on, Wisdom.
You don't know what's going on, I suggest you slow down. That's all I'm saying to you.
I ain't
I'm not going to take what you got to live the way you want to live. All I'm going to say is slow down, okay? Go back to the source, get the understanding you desire. Even to the Hebrews themselves, they were told to study to show themselves approved. Like I say about leadership, who approved your leadership? If you're going around telling people I'm a leader, where did you use this leadership at? Who approved it? Where'd you learn it from? How'd you study it? So approval, right? And whatever source and process you choose to do that from, you have to have a source of origin point in order to tell another person. Again, I said this earlier. If you don't have $1, you can't give $1. If you don't have love for self, you can't give love to another. So while you all are running around talking this story, not knowing whose story it is,
First of
and there
all,
are many different stories.
who's you all? Let's rephrase this part.
Anybody who's using the Hebrew story.
Okay, let's go with that. I'll work with that.
Anyone. Because if you don't know what a Christian is and how that word came to be, and its inception of understanding, you should probably stop and learn. That's all I'm saying. I ain't telling you how to live.
He told y'all how to live, damn it. He just ain't saying it that way.
Learn, because the book was meant for a different culture. Many people have a different culture. Their ancestry is indigenous. Many people's ancestry has no conversation to them right now in this understanding. Many people's ancestry was on a tree. Many people's ancestry was on somebody's plate being eaten. So if you don't have the decency to take the walk of understanding that you have your own set of ancestors while you taking somebody else's cultural story, and I appreciate that. You can take whatever cultural story you want, do the best you can with it. But if you don't have an understanding, I say stop. I say slow down. I say learn a bit. Show yourself approved of. I'm using this because there's benefit to me. I take the meat, I leave the bone. But again, why have I heard not one peep in iota of the ancestry of human beings and people to say, my ancestors was here before these folks showed up with this story? What about that conversation? What about that walk? What about their suffering? But yet we running around the Jesus and the Lord. No J until the 1500s. The man's name was Yeshua. Spoke Aramaic. I suggest you stop, learn, listen, show yourself approved of what you're talking about, and then move forward. That's all I'm going to say to you, and I'm going to land.
And wisdom speaks. He said what he said. He said what he said.
May I ask what the topic is, sir?
So today's topic is, and I
Where the white women at? That's the topic.
no, it's not. So, here it is. Can we accept the consequences of our choices without blaming someone else?
You should. I mean, that's where I'm at, and I think it's so much more freedom and inside of that because I control the things that happen and don't happen for me and not to me. So that's where I'm at, and I think it's a level in which I think a lot of people just aren't willing to take accountability. It's easier to point fingers. It's easier to blame. It's a contradiction of their beliefs and their belief system. Because they'll say, God doesn't make mistakes. Well, then, God put you in these situations, right? Just let you know. If he is everything around us, he is control of the things. You still make the choices. God presents you the door, you open the door. God doesn't open the door for you, you open the door. Your choices are where you get at. And now everything that has happened to you should not have happened to you. It's happened for you. You just need to recognize that it's either a lesson, a blessing, or a testing. And you are responsible for what you get from it. Instead of asking him, why is this happening to you? Ask him, what am I supposed to learn from this? And then who am I supposed to be after this? And I think when you start asking yourself those questions, you have a different perspective on life. You have a different feeling. You don't really blame. You kind of take ownership. You look and you analyze and see where you can make a difference for yourself, for your family. Stop looking at things as half empty and look at them as half full. I mean, life only gives you. I mean, I've always been told if life gives you lemons, what do? You make lemonade. Stop complaining about it. It's not a whole lot. You can, I understand people have circumstances, but don't let your circumstances dictate the outcome that is going to happen at the end. We all have stories. We all have roadblocks, or I call them speed bumps that happen to us. They slow us down, but they should never stop us. I mean, I had my motivational talk this morning. I said, stop looking at things as time right now, right? For instance, time. We're so in, like, if you look this time as something as though you're losing, as opposed to something that you have, when you truly don't have ownership of it, it's something you're losing every day. So then my question to you is, why don't you take advantage of the time that you have? But you don't, you waste it. And then you blame somebody else for it because you didn't get what you wanted out of it. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a different mentality, bro. I just don't have it.
No, I just dig it.
I just don't have it.
But it's true because a lot of people don't really like to don't like the consequences of the actions. They don't like the consequences of the choices. They want to blame somebody else. It's the truth. We want to sit there and blame. I blame her. You know what? The reason why I spend so much money and the reason why I drink is because of you. You making me go out there and drink. This is the reason why I don't want to come home. Because of you. It's your fault.
Peep game, right? So for instance, I can blame my parents. My mom wasn't there, right? Mom had me at 17, my dad was 18. My mom wasn't around, she worked a lot. I was raised with my grandmother, right? I complained so much and brought, I tried to prove so many different things that I was worthy enough for my parents to love me and to be there for me and support me. But I had to realize that, God's mission for them gave them a mission to have me, not to guide me, right? I was able to understand that and cipher through all the minutia that I was going through in my mind and making it about me where it had nothing to do with me. They still had their missions. They still had their journeys, and they still have their journeys that they're on. Everybody has their journeys that they're on. And sometimes it may not include you, and that's okay. But understand this, there's a reason why. Because when I later got to know my parents and actually start sitting down and talking to them and start asking them questions and things like that, I realized that, you know what, I would have hated to have been around you or to be anything like them, because they don't have the capacity in which, like, the way I think, my mom thinks I'm in a cult, like, legitimately, because I just don't let things bother me. She calls and complains to me about things like, Mom, I really don't, like, that has no bearing on anything that I'm doing today. So can we, like, I don't know, you just want to complain. I said, are we going to come up with some sort of solution? Or are you going to pick it? Or are you going to try to do something? Is it going to lead to you doing something? No, then I really don't want to talk about complaining. Complaining just doesn't do it for me. So it's just a different space. I'm more calm. I'm more patient. I'm more, like I said, I'm more focused, right? And I control my environment, and I control who I allow in my environment. And I think that's kind of where I'm at right now. And very similar to what Ford was saying, is like, when you start to get into the space, but I will challenge Ford on this. Understand this, that you're never going to be a finished product. Mm-hmm. You're never going to be in this position to where it's going to be complete.
Clock it.
If you are the individual you have a growing mindset, you're going to continue to grow. So, and that capacity is only what you are at this particular stage in your life. The next level in which you go to, your capacity expands. But it's always, understand, this is always going to be 100%. It's never going to be 110%, 200%. It's nothing that. It's just, as you grow as an individual, your capacity will just expand, right? So as you plant a seed, as that tree grows, the capacity of it to grow in that particular season is only at that particular capacity until it grows up, and it grows up, and it grows up, and it grows out, and then it expands, right? So then the world around it starts to get smaller as it expands and gets bigger, but the capacity of that increases, right? Inside of that. So you'll always be able to take on more, but you always will only take on more of what you're willing to take on. And to expand your capacity is always going to be that, right? You just have to, that's the whole purpose. When people are pushing themselves, they're not giving more effort. They're just expanding their capacity to do things. I'm literally, what do they say? You only use about 10% of your brain. Mm-hmm. I'm using more than that because I'm expanding my capacity. I'm able to work through problems and situations in a second versus 20 seconds, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, because I'm constantly challenging myself, right? So I had that conversation today on my live when I was talking about when I was for my own Motivational Mondays. If we look at it from this standpoint, the reason why we are so disconnected as individuals is that we are operating in a different operating systems. So say, for instance, Velvet is a Apple. He's a Mac, so he operates on a Apple OS. D operates on a PC OS. Sometimes when we're having conversations, you're trying to download your Apple software onto a PC OS, and you're always going to get an error, right? And vice versa. If I'm trying to download a software onto the Mac OS, I'm going to get an error. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. It just doesn't work on that particular operating system. So you have to understand what operating system you work in, so that way when you download something or upload something, it's working for your particular OS. And when you're having conversations with people, you got to remember they're coming from a different operating system. So they may not understand what you're saying. So you need something. You need some sort of interpreter to communicate back and forth to these different operating systems. Because you're looking at the things because your operating system is going to be your beliefs, it's going to be your how you were raised, who raised you. How about this? The generation in which you were raised is going to be different. Me and my son, we operate on two different operating systems, but I have to be able to have a different conversation with him, because I have to download a different software that allowed me to interpret what he's talking about. So that requires patience. And a lot of people don't have patience. Everybody wants things to happen for them right now. They don't want to take the time to actually sit down and talk to somebody and get a better understanding and start kind of aligning the things of what they're saying to what it is, how you understand it, and how you can kind of get a different perspective of how they see life, so that way you can have a better conversation. And that's why I said, it's always considered. Yes. And that's why I say consideration is the biggest thing that you can give somebody. That's the best way you can tell me you love me without telling me you love me. It's the best way you can tell me you respect me without telling me you respect me. It's the best thing that you can honor me without telling me you honor me. It's consideration. Consider where I'm coming from. Consider where my background. Consider how I was raised. Consider how I'm analyzing the data that you're giving me.
But no, Donovan. But no, that's not how it goes, because I want you to consider me instead of me considering you. I need you to consider me based on everything that I do for you.
How about this? How about it's your responsibility? You supposed to be aware. I'm not supposed to be aware. You supposed to be aware. You supposed to make me feel good. The whole thing is you are supposed to make me happy. So the responsibility is never within self. The responsibility is to find your happiness within a situation, within another person. So that's what you're responsible to do. You're responsible, like you said, for the seeking earlier. You said, Brother Jones, you said, seek and ye shall find, told in the good Hebrew book. But that is my responsibility. I found you. Now, what you going to do for me when I find you? That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about self-responsibility. We're not talking about self-awareness. None of these things have been conversations except for what another person is supposed to be doing. Brother D is supposed to be a man of God. Brother Jones is supposed to be a man of God. Sister so-and-so is supposed to be a woman of God. You all are supposed to be. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
No, you're
That
right.
ain't got nothing to do with me. It's about what you're supposed to be when I find you.
But wisdom.
Because you're supposed to do something for me.
But exactly. But wisdom. Hold on. But I introduced it to her because I wanted to make sure that she's supposed to make me happy. I met her because I wanted her to make me happy, because I've seen from what I heard that she made the last dude that she was with happy, because that's what she told me. You know, I was with the guy and I made him so happy, but he just left me. So I want the same thing.
This is the thing, right? We're operating again, when we talk about the operating system, we're operating in a different space right now, y'all. Everybody on this panel has children by somebody else, has been divorced, has gone through a breakup, has gone through some heartache. That has changed your perspective and it changed the way that you see things. So when you're in it, and it's not saying that your values should not remain the same, but also understand is that you get what you get. You get what you give. Period. If you're saying that, you know what, I keep finding these old men and I keep finding these trifling women, there's something wrong with you.
No, but it's not, Donovan. It's something wrong with them. It's not me. It's the women.
No, it is. It's true. And you know what? That's fine. And I can sit here and say that because I said that in my marriage before I left my marriage. I kept saying it's not me, it's her. It's not me, it's her. And I had to come to realization, you know what? That she's perfect, whole, and complete the way she is. Because somebody out there will love her and accept her for who she is. Mm-hmm. She just has to find that person. It just doesn't work for me.
Right.
Period.
No.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
I was saying that to be sarcastic, because you know how we always say that, right? Yeah. But you're 100% right. We tend to date the same type of person and get the same results, even though the flesh maybe look different, but their mindset and everything, that because we are trained ourselves to keep finding the same type of person without realizing that it's the same type of person that we dating over and over again, getting the same results. So what I'm saying is this: do we have dating insanity?
We're codependent.
It's because last I checked, isn't insanity repeating the same thing, getting the same results?
Expecting a better outcome, yeah.
Expecting it before, yeah.
That's where we're at, right? This is why, when a lot of times, and this is why I give Donovan a lot of credit for being cool, because the biggest thing for me is I do not stand when people use words that they cannot identify. That drives me up a wall.
Sounds a little. It sounds kind of like it's kind of a little bit ludicrous to me that, you know, it's the philosophical. So you basically saying people need to stop talking like T.I.
because so deliberately and they spew so loosely and they have the conviction behind it. That drives me up a wall because
you loud don't mean you can't be loud and wrong.
Come on now. Come on, brothers. But this is the world that we live in, though. It's the truth. Like we're at a point where, like you said, Dios, man, I love that you said that people want to use these words that don't even know the meaning of them, but because it just sounds good. Oh, I read this word in the dictionary and I looked up the meaning, but you're putting it in the wrong context. And it's just,
you just read the word.
They heard it from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just read the word. You didn't read the meaning.
But isn't that like that in relationships where we take the word of someone else? Man, yo, this shorty I met, man, yo, she bad, bro. She could be the one for you. We be like, word, and then what he do? She come around and we go over there. Yo, word, she could be the one, bro, because shorty's bad. You was 100% right. But you ain't tell me what that brain was like. You ain't tell me that she had a nasty ass attitude. You ain't tell me that her feet stink or something like that. Like, it could be anything. All you showed me was the core. And guess what we did? We went and dealt with the core. This is the problem I'm saying. Too many people are in these relationships only for the core of the person and not for the inner. We don't truly see the inside of a person and then we don't realize it's this. We don't see it because we don't recognize it because we're not used to it. And here it is, a person that's pouring into you doing all this stuff, but we don't see all that part because that's not what we're used to. And then we get mad and break out on them. And guess what?
So it's been seen. You just ignored it.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on, brother.
We said it earlier. We said it earlier.
I mean, they showed you. You just said, you know what? But only if. I mean, I can change them.
Say that again.
I can change them.
Say that one more time, because somebody ain't hear that.
I can change them.
Come on, brother. Explain that, please.
Change the t-shirt they wear.
Change their underwear.
Change their socks.
Change the bed sheets.
Sound like a caretaker to me. Sound like a CNA.
But the true part is you can change them. You change them
True love comes when you accept somebody. You know? That is what love is acceptance of somebody. And if you can't accept the person that you're dealing with, then you don't truly love them.
That part. That
Period.
Say that again, please, because that's what true love is.
If you cannot accept the person that you're with and you say that you love them and you can't accept them for who they are, then you don't love them. You truly don't love them.
I've accepted the fact that Sung is a black man who wants to hide in Korean skin. I've accepted that.
He likes skin.
He likes skin.
Black man. Hey, black man. What are you doing, black man?
He black man. See, look at him.
Don't be talking that shit.
Look at him. What's up, Sung? How you doing, my brother?
Oh, just coming up here to talk some shit.
Okay. But we ain't doing too much shit talking.
Okay, well, we can start.
Why you choose? Yo, what's the matter with your friends come up here choosing violence? We don't choose. It's not Violent Monday today.
I mean, I'm just, what better way to start the week than to talk some shit?
I think you started that the other day.
Yes, like last week.
No, every week is a new week.
Yeah, like yesterday, Sunday, when I talked to you over the phone. So, Donovan, I talked to this guy over the phone because Chris calls him, and I'm on his voicemail like, hey, black man, where you at? You want to hang out with the black people? So then he calls back like 3 hours, sounding all groggy and stuff. And Chris hands me the phone, and I'm like, well, he's like, well, what are you doing? I said, what's up, black man? He's like, which one are you?
Unbelievable. Sensei Shay, what's up, Sensei? How you doing, sister?
Good Monday, everyone.
Good Monday. What's say?
Just listening in.
Okay. You have
I wasn't sure what the conversation was about, but I was listening to Donovan and what the part to figure out. So,
okay, so guy, you want to elaborate?
Concurring and agreeing.
My guy, you can elaborate, please.
I wasn't really sure what you guys were, talking about. But like I said, everything he was saying, I am all for emotional intelligence and, things of that nature. So I really don't know what the prompt or the question was.
I think I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say something, and people can get mad and say what they want to say. Like I said before, I'm gonna say it again. A lot of people truly don't even know what they want from a man or a woman, men or women. Bottom line, I said it. A lot of us think that we know what we want in our relationship, but then when we get it, we don't even know how to accept it. We don't even know how to deal with it.
I can agree with that. Plus, we change all the time. You know what I mean? So sometimes when we want it last week, we never want 60 days from now.
So then my thing is this: why sit there and make and fabricate and make up something if you truly don't know what you want? Because here's the funny part is you can get with somebody and they could be bad as all outdoors, but you find yourself being bored because now you're like, this ain't what I signed up for. Like that, this not what I wanted. I wanted, I thought she was going to be this type of woman. I thought she's going to be exciting. But she was just a beautiful homebody, and that's not something that you signed up for. But yet, this is what you looked at, and it's what you thought that you wanted.
How fast did you sign up?
You signed up to the point where, listen, I'm gonna say it like this: a lot of y'all women sign up and give your heart too soon. That I can agree with. Y'all get with these men and thinking that like y'all done found the bomb, and all of a sudden you done gave this man your heart. You done poured all into this man, and he has poured nothing into you. And you get mad because now you want to get mad at him. I can't believe why you don't love me because I never said I loved you. Well, why you don't care about me? I never said I did. I never said I didn't care. it's just my caring and your caring is two different things. This is where we have the problem when it comes to the relationship. Your expectations of me and me being me is two different things. You thought that I'm supposed to be this type of person because that's what you was getting from the last man. I'm not the last man. I'm this man.
I was asking about how fast did they sign up? You said they signing up for things. How fast did they sign up without asking questions and finding out and watching patterns and things of that nature?
But what I'm saying is people sign up all the time for these things and don't even realize that they're signing up for them. The reason why I say that is this. A lot of times we get with people and we put like men. Some of these men get with these women, they test the waters and the waters is good. And they like, dang, I can go swimming in this. Not realizing that the woman is trash and she is I ain't gonna say she's trash. The woman is destructive. She is nothing but a good time. And you don't even realize it because you just signed up for the destruction of yourself. We destroy ourselves with the poor choices that we make. I'm not saying that the choices that we make are poor. People could be good, but they just not good for us. And you may think that I found the right person. I found my man. No, first of all, stop speaking stuff that you know don't exist into existence. Like, oh, I found my person. No, you didn't, because the only person I found is me. I am my own person. I can't find my person. I am my person. I am me.
Your better half, all of those.
No, there's no such thing as a better half because there's only one side of me.
Right.
I got two sides of me. I got a left and a right side. Which side is my better half? My right side or my left side? That's it. People got to stop making these things and stuff. Like you said, my better half. I found my rib. When did you lose it? Like, when did you lose your rib? Somebody cut it out of you and took it out. Like, only person I know that lost the rib was Adam. And I'm not him. So with all these little sayings and all these little things, to me, it don't make no sense. Listen, I have a wife. I have children. That is it. She is my life partner. This is the woman that I chose to spend the rest of my life with. That's it. Period. She's not my better half. She's not my rib. She's none of that to me. She is my wife. That's why it says husband, wife. It doesn't say rib, doesn't say better half. And another thing I think people need to stop using is the most dumbest word I've ever heard in the English language is, this is my wifey. Who the hell is a wifey? What woman signs up to be a wifey? Make that crap make sense. That is the most stupidest thing I've ever heard anybody ever say on the face of this planet, especially dudes. Yo, you know that. And then they made a whole song about it. And women accepted the crap. That's my wifey. But here's the song. You make my life complete only when it comes to me. You're my wifey. That sounds like a wife to me. So basically, what they're telling you, listen, y'all can be girlfriends and do all the things that a wife can do for me, and I will accept you. Negative that, man. That's crazy work. How do I want to ask y'all women these questions? How do y'all women sign up to be a full-time girlfriend? You're a full-time girlfriend but a part-time wife. Riddle me that, ladies.
There's no such thing as a part-time wife.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I'm gonna break it down to you what a part-time wife is.
No, I'm not saying what people's actions are. I'm saying in reality there is no such thing as a part-time wife. I know you're classifying that by the way people act in relationships, but I'm just saying in reality there's no such thing as that.
You are a part-time wife.
What you're saying.
You're a part-time wife because you're doing all these duties as a wife does. That's part-time. You're still a girlfriend, but you're just part-time doing the wifely stuff, washing his clothes, doing all these things, making sure the doctor's appointments is set, doing all the stuff that a wife. I don't understand how you sign up for something that you qualify to be it, but you're not. You're signing up for something that you qualify for, but you're not getting the results. I don't understand that. And then the sad part about it is that these type of men manipulate you into thinking that this is all you good for, and y'all accept it because he's treating you in a certain. Well, he's doing all this stuff. He takes care of me. I get my head. Then he gives me money. He's doing all that just to keep you're a placeholder, your timeshare. Yep, I'm gonna use all that. Y'all placeholders, your timeshares, all that nonsense except for one thing. You ain't a wife. And then he manipulated you to the point when I ain't gonna say manipulated you, he been saying it, you know, we don't gotta be married, we don't gotta be married. And if you keep telling somebody something, it becomes true to them. Prove me wrong. If I can constantly keep hearing telling you the same thing over and over again as a woman on a regular basis, to a point where you start believing it, you'll start saying it.
These women don't want marriage.
Say it, Todd.
Listen to them on these panels. They tell you they want partners. They want a partnership. They don't want marriage. So it don't take a lot for a man to do too much convincing of that. They already accepted they don't want to be wives. They just comfortable being a man's 3 or 4. I'll land there.
I'm gonna say something even harder. Now this gonna hurt a little bit. No, it ain't. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say because I'm gonna say it. Exactly. Let me say this. How do you say you don't want a man, but you want to deal with a woman that looks like me? I'm done. Live over.
Yeah, I always ask that question. That doesn't hurt. That's a legitimate question.
How do you?
That's a legitimate question. Mannerisms and all, you know. So
You don't want to deal with a man, but you want to deal with a woman that looks like me. So make that make sense.
Cigar you.
I'm waiting to hear this answer. It's crazy.
I don't know if there's any gay women up here.
It ain't about being gay. You got women right now. First of all, I would say this: ain't no way in the world, ain't no woman will ever make me run to another. Will ever make me run to a man.
No, ma'am. I don't care what he do.
But you got women that talk about that. I don't understand. Women that have never been in that lifestyle before. All of a sudden, they are dealing with women. I'm done with all that. You know what? I don't even want to go that far because that's going to touch some nerves.
Robert, can you distinguish for me a girlfriend, half a wife, and a full wife?
So
how you separate the three of those? What is the difference that you feel with the girlfriend?
Okay, the half a wife and the full wife?
Yeah.
Okay, let me break this down. I'm going to try to do it as quick as
What
possible.
is a half a wife?
I'm about to break that down, Wisdom. Here it is. The girlfriend, here's the girlfriend. The girlfriend is this. The girlfriend I can walk away from at any given time because I don't owe her anything. She's just a girlfriend. She's just a girl that's just doing it. A half a wife is a woman that's just standing there holding a position. She's playing the part of the wife, but she's not really the wife. She's doing all the roles as the wife, but she's not really the wife. Now, the wife is the one that gets all things. She gets the respect, she gets the love, everything. The wife is the one that I want to live the rest of my life with. Them two other women, I don't want to spend the rest of my life with them. But the one that says I do, that means I'm doing everything for her and I'm going to spend the rest of my life with her. And nobody else can take that place.
Okay, that's your personal projection of three positions. But where the conversation was starting, where you were speaking of it, it was like this woman that is a girlfriend and doing these wifely duties that makes her a half a wife. Then what is now she's doing the wifely duties, but
on a girlfriend's salary, yeah.
No, but I don't know how you distinguishing the girlfriend and her duties or duties. It ain't even duties, but what a girlfriend does. What is happening with a girlfriend and her man? What is where it actually falls over to whatever she doing is falling over to some of what a wife would do or you expecting of a wife. But then what is the wife full capacity? Like, what is she? You got her sitting there. I'm not talking about you, who I want to live the rest of my life with, but you're accepting the girlfriend right now that is doing the partly wifely duties. So, but the wife is that that's who I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. That's who gets everything. But obviously, the girlfriend has to start off getting something. And enough she's getting. that she start performing more of her activities as a wife would do. But then the wife, I'm not understand how you're separate. You're talking about three different positions for the same woman.
So let me explain it to you then. This is what I'm talking about. You have women right now that are in relationships, right? They're doing all these things that a wife should be doing, that a wife could be doing, but they're not married to the man. They're living with the man, which is one thing women shouldn't really be doing if you're just dating the man, but you shouldn't be living with him. Some of these women actually stop working because they're allowing a man to take care of them. So now they have no place, they have no voice. The man takes their voice from them, but yet they're still not a wife. They're having kids by said man and still not married to the man. And all of these things are happening right now where women are settling to do all this wifely stuff, but they're not married. Let's keep it a buck. At the end of the day, here it is. You have a wife. Now, when a man gets married to his wife, that's his partner. So he's going to share certain things with her. She has a voice. These women that are not married to these men, but just live with them, they have no voice. The man has took all their dignity from them. She's doing all this stuff. She's basically a slave for this man.
Say that. Why would you make that assumption?
It's not an assumption because I seen it. You know why it's not an assumption, sister? Because I seen it full circle. I seen it full circle. So it's not an assumption.
Have you lived in that circle?
I don't have to live in the circle if I seen it.
No, we're not talking. You can't see what it is.
How can I not see it if it was blatantly in my face?
You have to have that action.
No, I don't have to. Listen, sister, come on. Stop it.
Experience that. That's what
I don't need to experience something if I see what's going on and I seen it in my face. It was live. Two people. I've seen how she acted when things happen, and I've seen how he moved. I've seen it verbatim. So I don't have to live it. I don't have to live it in order to see it. I seen it.
That the man is taking the voice of a woman.
Yes, she got mad and she couldn't even say nothing to him about being upset about a situation.
Understand that has happened. But that's what it is that you're saying generally, that we are giving up or we allow when we get into a relationship with any man. That's what we allowing or giving up. That's what happens in a relationship. When that's
listen
not
to what I'm
always.
saying, sister. What I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. So basically, what I'm hearing is you would rather go out there and date somebody and no. Hold on, because you're trying to tell me one thing, and I'm explaining something to you, and you're telling me no. You're telling me no. But at the end of the day, as a man, I'm telling you what men do and what I see. But you're like, no, that's not what it is. Because no, this is exactly what it is. Women are dealing with these same type of dudes. Here it is. These men are taking everything, taking women's pride, taking their dignities, not even marrying them, but setting them up for failure. You are failing as a woman. If you are living with a man, bottom line, and this man does not have no sense of marrying you. And then here's another man that will put a ring on your finger, an engagement ring, and just to keep you there. But your sisters don't see that because y'all want to try to use it as no, but that's not. No, that's exactly what it is. Y'all don't want to see it. Y'all don't want to hear the truth. The truth is you got men out here who are treating women like trash, taking their voices, taking their dignity, taking everything from them, and also will remove you from your family. But y'all don't see that though. But this is what some of y'all women sign up for. I'm dealing with a man. Oh, he's paying all my bills. I'm good. You good till when? Until something happens. And here's the same man that'll step out on you and go lay down with a whole nother woman and have a baby on you. And then you will still sit there and be accepting and be like, no. Yes. Y'all don't get it.
I mean, Velvet, listen, I don't want you to misunderstand what I'm saying.
And I'm not.
What you're saying, there is those situations, but to just generalize that's what we signed up for and going into a relationship.
I'm not saying every woman. Once again, I see. Well, here's my problem that I have to explain myself. When I don't have to say every woman, I'm just saying women sign up for this. And yes, it is. The majority of these women do sign up for this nonsense. They will deal with a man as long as his pockets can sustain her, And if I ain't got to work, how many women you know right now will actually sit there and say, if a man tells you to quit your job and that he gonna take care of you, what women are they right? I'm gonna quit my job and he gonna take care of me. You signed up for that nonsense.
But do you think women are knowingly signing up for that, or they may fall in entrapment of being?
It's the same thing. It's the same
Who's
thing.
you trapping yourself? Ain't no man trapping you.
You know what I mean? We all kind of got the same memo growing up.
You
So it's like,
listen.
you know,
A lot.
you know what it is?
Go ahead, sister.
No. I was just saying we all got the same memo growing up as women about I'm just gonna say quote unquote actions and you know how men are, or even from teenagers, how boys are. Whether your uncle told you, your mama told you, whether you took heed or not.
But you know what, though, sister?
No.
I want to.
You know what I mean?
Can I
So
say
we know
something
that
to
we're
y'all
not
real quick?
We know that we're not supposed to let someone just take care of you because you've seen it happen to your aunt or your sister, whatever. She was with this guy, he met, you know, and now she's left. Like, what am I gonna do? Holding the bag. So we already know that. We've seen it. So if we do trust someone like that, when we go to a situation, a relationship, we are kind of. Let
me correct this whole narrative.
Coming from him.
Hold on.
That's all. It just sounds harsh coming from him, but
Right.
it's true.
Let me correct this whole narrative. And I love what you said, Shay. But here's the correction. When women say this how men are, this how women are, no, it's not men and it's not women. It's you. It's how you are, what you subject to. A man can't force you to do something that you do not want to do. So when we say this how men are just built that way. No, you signed up for it. Because if you know better, you do better. So why, if you know that this how men are, why are you still subjecting and signing up for the crap that these so-called men put in play? Same thing with women. We always say, man, I know how these women are. These women do X, Y, and Z, but yet we still go out and be with them. So who's to blame once again? Accepting the consequences of the choices without blaming someone else. When we learn to stop blaming men and women for certain things, then guess what? We'll be fine. But we have the tendency to keep pointing the finger and throwing the blame at this. Well, you know, all men are like this and all women like that. No, they're not. If a man tells you this what he wants you to do and you looking at him and you sign up for it, then who's that for? You blame yourself. Because if you didn't take the time to learn about this man to make sure, hey, I want to see what kind of dude he was, what kind of dude he is before I even stop, before I quit my job, or before I move in with this man, or before I do anything such as. But we quick to sign up for it because it sounds good. Just the same thing, the same way if a woman, you meet a woman, I meet a woman today, and in the next 3 days, she ready to give me some box. Hold up, let me say, she ready to give me some of the cookie. I'm gonna look at her a little bit like, hold up, baby. I only met you Monday. Here it is Wednesday. You already ready to lay down with me, and you talking about I don't need that on. Oh, no, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not laying down with you. You're poison.
Accountability can be difficult, you know, if you don't have a lot of emotional intelligence, unfortunately. You know, it's hard sometimes for people to accept the decisions that we make, you know. So that's a very big word, and it's a very difficult task for people to do.
It's a slippery slope that we go down all the time. I think that us men and women, we need to learn how to interact with each other better. A lot of us need to get off social media and stop listening to some of these knuckleheads on social media if they're not trying to speak life.
No, bro, don't be nice. No, go stand your ass in the corner for 30 minutes until you figure it out.
Okay.
Don't come out that corner until you figure it out. Then get in, stand over there on your knees with books on top of your head. Like all this whole morning has been about accountability, right? It really has been, and nobody wants to take it. It's this and it's that and no, it's you. At the end of the day, right, wrong, and indifferent. If something got over you, okay, cool. Hey, shame on you. Next time, shame on me. But after that, there's no more excuses. There's nothing of legitimacy that you're gonna get a pass after that. Like when we sit here, bro, I've never been inside of a burning house. Never. Don't want to be. But I bear witness to certain things that gave me enough alert, like, whoa, Jesus, don't want to do that, right? So I've seen enough to where I've seen people go through certain things that I haven't been through. I don't want to do it.
I don't have to experience it.
Right. I don't need that. But for some reason, that dopamine hit that people have. And one thing I don't like is I don't like the all-inclusive stage because everybody wants to feel something that somebody else is going through. That ain't empathy, that's stupidity.
True.
Like, let's put that right there on the stage and table that. Why are we going out of our own way to get off our beaten path that's been built for us? Because we all love to thank the Lord for, oh, we're believers. But he's also said that I made you fearfully, made you wonderfully and fearfully made. You're different all the way down to your thumb, your fingerprints, right? And your hairs and stuff. All that, you're different. But you want the same thing somebody else has.
Sometimes you have to share your experience so that other people
Share the
learn
experience
from
is
you.
cool. Why would you want something I
Other people
have?
don't repeat. It is not an it's not, you're not placing your beliefs on somebody. It's just a thing. If somebody else encounters something similar, then they will know what
No, that's not the issue.
do.
Why would I want
Not,
to?
it is not it is not like it's not like a sticker that you're putting on somebody's forehead.
Right. Here's the situation. Why would I want to endure what you're going through just to say I can't?
So that's I believe that's the reason we share the knowledge. It's just that, just in case. See, what my parents tell me is that it is better to learn from other people's experience than to experience it, oh my God, yourself.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're saying. You don't have to experience it. You know, I don't gotta, you see somebody's hand get burnt and not want to touch the fire. You don't have to touch the fire just to make sure that my hand isn't going to get burnt. That's what I'm saying.
I can see and smell your flesh burning, and I'm looking at mine intact. Like, no, I'm cool.
And value the fact that you choose to share an experience does not mean that you are imposing it. You're imposing your.
No, not you sharing. You who haven't experienced something, going out of your way, want to experience what somebody else is going through, their detriment, right? That's the issue. The lack of identity that has been taking place at such a large mass. This all-inclusive thing, we all the same. No, we're not. We're not the same. There's nothing about us the same. We have similarities, but we're not the same. But we have to quit approaching things as if we are the same. This is why we keep running to the same rat holes repeatedly.
I agree with that.
So once you acknowledge yourself for the special and individual that you have been created to be, therefore, you can make the necessary moves you need to make. But we cannot do that if we keep looking at somebody else's beaten path. Oh, that's so more attractive than the one that's built for me. But the one that's built for you has a whole lot more great sustainability for it.
Can I say something? I do not make my decisions based on beaten paths like that. But I still kind of do observe. And if I have a experience to share, I will not hide knowledge from anybody.
I respect that. So let's do this. Let's go to Cheyenne Moore, Patricia, and Unbroken. Welcome
I got
in.
married at the age of 21. I'm still in my early 30s, right? I spent a good 9 years. I'm not bitter about that. He's not a deadbeat. He does 120% more than even what is expected. Yeah, that part I respect. What I'm trying to say is that I forgot.
That means it wasn't. That means if you forgot, that means it wasn't meant to be said. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
But let's do this. Let's go to Unbroken. We got Cheyenne Moore, and then we got Patricia. Welcome in, ladies.
Hi, I'm Unbroken. How are you, everyone?
Doing good.
I kind of stepped in a little bit at the last minute. Can you guys brief me a little bit of what you're talking about? Because if I can hear good, it sounds a little bit of what I'm kind of experiencing with someone.
So what are you experiencing? Talk about your experience. That's all.
My experience is, I feel like that's why they say your past is your past, because I feel like you shouldn't go back into your past because it's not always a good thing. I was involved with a guy from 1992 up until 2003. I messed up because in the process of that, I cheated on my husband at the time. And then my husband passed away in March of 2024. So me and this guy, we reconnected with each other. And it was only supposed to be friends and about sex. But sometimes it wasn't even always about sex. And then I would see the red flags. But when you used to somebody all your life when you were young, that's all you would ever feel you need. Go ahead. You want to stop me?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna stop you for a second.
Go ahead and stop me.
What made you cheat on your husband?
Because my husband was 15 years older than me, and my husband was always in the streets, and he would just get mad for no reason, and I would try to figure out why he was always like that, and I could never figure it out because I never questioned him. Because I'm the type of woman to where you have to really, really do something to me for me to question you like that. So I decided to say, you know what? I wanted to be happy, and I was happy. But then later on in my marriage, I did regret that. And when I did start to love my husband, things were totally different between us. It's like I had to close that chapter of my past, and I kept holding on to it. And it came back to haunt me November 11th of 2025 when this guy abused me.
Okay.
And then I had an injunction against him for 6 months.
Hold on.
He turned around to make it seem like I was his crazy.
Let me get this one, please.
So at the end of the day, we as women have to gather ourselves together and stop making excuses. Oh, because I've known someone this long. Or, oh, because this guy does me like this. He does me good. That's no excuse to tolerate something when you should know that you're worth more than what some people bargain you for.
Can I ask you a question, Unbroken?
Yes.
Because you didn't answer the question. The question was, what made you cheat? And you said all the things that your husband did or wasn't doing. But none of those things made you go and give your body away. The only person who made you do that is you. Because you could have talked to him about it. You could have, So that was when I put wrong answer in the question, because we're talking about accountability up here. So that would have been the correct answer, is that because we know that people can do things to make us feel certain ways, but at the end of the day, the only decision is up to you to give yourself away or, do something like that. So that's the answer that we were looking for.
That's absolutely true.
So no. Time out. Hold up. So as I sat here and I listened, all you did was talk about what he did. The only accountability that you kind of took was you said you cheated, but you wanted to be happy. So at the end of the day, that's still not holding yourself accountable for cheating on your husband. That was your husband, regardless of the fact you made vows in front of God through thick and thin, for better or for worse, no matter what this man was doing. You still should have been holding the place as a wife, and you didn't do that. You decided to go be with somebody because you thought about your happiness. And the sad part about that whole situation, I'm not coming for you respectfully, but you told me your story, so I have every right to dissect it the way I need to dissect it.
That's true.
So here's the thing. What I'm gathering is this: you had already made the decision that you wanted to step out the moment that you realized that your husband wasn't paying attention to you, which as a woman, as a wife, you have a chance, you have a voice to sit there and voice your opinion to your husband. Baby, listen, I feel that you being in the streets too much. Number one, baby, listen, we need to talk because I have needs and you're not fulfilling the needs that I have as a married wife. Like, what's going on? That's something that should have been discussed instead of you discussing your situation with someone else, which probably what happened is you probably started going out and you started meeting men and you started failing yourself because you felt lonely. So at the time that you felt lonely, what you wanted to do, go out there and expand your horizon because, hey, he's not paying attention to me. I'm going to get somebody to pay attention to me. And then you found the person that was paying attention to you, and he started feeding you everything that your husband wasn't feeding you. And then you took upon yourself to let's what? He fed you enough where he was able to lay down with you multiple times. And then you wound up leaving your husband to get with this man.
True.
So at the end of the day, the only person that's at fault in that whole situation is you.
Yes. I get it.
That's all I need. And see, right then and there, that's the part of saying, you know what? I was at fault in my marriage, not my husband, because he was doing something. You had every right to talk to your husband and have that conversation, but you chose not to. You chose to convince yourself that what your needs. But if that's what you needed, then you should have went and talked to your husband about what you needed. Instead of talking to yourself and convincing yourself that what he's not doing that another man would. No. It's not how it goes.
That's absolutely right.
I'm willing to say something to you guys because I don't really know you. 3 months after I got married, I cried and cried and cried and cried. And I told my mom, I didn't really want this. She was like, why didn't you say that before we came to your wedding?
Was your marriage arranged?
No. It was my decision.
Why did you marry him?
Kinda.
Why did you marry him?
Huh?
Why did you marry him?
The official thing. Wow.
That's not what I asked you.
You know,
My thing is this.
together for
Let me
few years.
ask you this. Did
And
you
then because we have a daughter, and then to travel to my country, we've been traveling all the time.
hold on. So wait, but let me ask you.
We
So
haven't
once
married.
again, was your marriage arranged?
No,
So
it
you
was my choice.
so-
I'm the one who brought the person home. So we used to live together. It was calm.
so you used to live together.
We both decided to have a child together. Yeah.
So
And
you
then-
decided to have a
so
child,
we
but then you got married to him.
time.
So let me say this, because I see where you're going, but I don't want the long talk. You decided to have a child with a man, but then you didn't want to marry the man. But you made one decision, but you made one decision one way, but then you made a whole nother decision. So the fact of the matter is, the moment you laid down with the man, you should have thought about it. Because see, now you got a child with somebody, then you got to marry him. Not saying that you have to marry him, but you chose to marry him. So you can't get mad at once again at the situation that you put yourself into.
No, marriage is the paperwork. The paperwork part. There's
So you married him for papers. So he married you for papers, or you married him for papers? Which one is it?
Nobody married anyone for papers. We both live in my country, right? Even as of now. He said, the embassy is complaining. We've been flying home to his home and back for some years now. And they're saying, because they used to they give me 3 years visas, yeah? Then he was like, the embassy is refusing to give you visa. We have a daughter. Now we have to make it official because the embassy used to assume that we're already married. So then, yeah.
So basically you doing, so you
It was
married.
a quick marriage.
So you married him for, so once again, you married him for papers.
Not for me. I'm not excited about living
No,
in other
not for you. Not for you.
It
just
was for
based
the
on
daughter
situation.
now.
It's on the situation, not that you did it for you.
Like
You did it
the way he convinced me to actually sign the papers
He
was
convinced you.
by value of the fact that we brought life into the world. Yeah.
So he could.
That was his bargaining agreement. He used the child.
In mind, I loved the fact that we were just together. And then,
Bruh, I'm at.
it wasn't.
So what's so different about being married and just being in a relationship? What's the difference?
papers versus, you know, when I come back home, when I think I would prefer if somebody comes back home to me, it's by choice. It's not a paper obligation. You choose to come back home next to me. You choose to lay in bed next to me.
But you chose to
Not
sign the
because we
paper, so you
signed
knew.
some papers.
But you signed the paper, so you knew what you were signing up for.
Yeah.
Exactly. What? Say that again. You see what she just said, right? You signed the papers.
I'm trying to get this. What's the clarity? Is the issue the actual marriage to the person,
Or
is the issue the marriage under the situation?
When I was doing it, I felt it was right, and then later on, 9 years later,
Is the issue the person or the issue the situation?
you knew it wasn't right when you were doing it in the first place.
It's both.
First of all, you just said he convinced you, so you knew it wasn't right, but you did it anyway.
That was the first, yeah.
Exactly. You did it anyway because you were trying to. You did it because you were trying.
Entered it in the first place to experience.
You did that because you were trying to please that man, and that's what happened.
Wait, you said you've been married since you was 21, correct?
Yeah.
Why does it sound like this happened 2 weeks ago?
Right. I thought it was like a few months ago at least, sir.
Listen, y'all not about to have me day drinking.
I was about to get 2 shots right now, but this is what I'm about to do.
It's about the paper. So he's still coming home. You're saying if you weren't married, you want to make sure that he's coming there because he wants to. But if he's been coming there all that long time.
No, that was the beginning. It's not the now. The now is different.
What's the now?
What came after was worse than me saying, okay, no problem. Let's just do this, because.
So wait, so what's the now like now?
The now I'm happy. I'm not. Okay.
All right.
I believe.
We're gonna have a moment of silence.
Listen, let me do this because I'm getting tired. I've been on this app a little bit beyond my time today, only because I had some time today and I have to work. And I was hoping that the wife would throw the clocks in here and just be like, all right, baby.
I was too. That's why I had closed the panel a whole hour ago. But my brother said, no, I got time today. So when I reached out and Rain didn't answer me because you know what?
Get her. It's there they go. Who was waiting for them clocks? Boy. She just gave me a little bit of free range today. That's awesome. I had some free range chicken. But before we go.
You said you rang.
You know I rang, babe. Before we go, let me hear from Patricia. Hi, Patricia. What you got to share, sister?
Yes, good day to the host and good day to everyone on the panel. I normally, and to the sister that's speaking and, following up on everything that the brethren is saying. Give thanks to your sister. But yes, this is my first time, but I normally pass through the app and really see the eyes I'm speaking. And I really appreciate it because this is the time for truth and wants to take responsibility of the things that we do, in our own life instead of trying to blame someone else. So I really appreciate this program and just listening. It really, the brethren are really uplifting and motivating I even more to understand man's way and woman's way in life. So I give thanks.
Well, you know what? Thank you, sister. I appreciate that. And as I say this, before we slide like Clyde, I want to thank everybody for coming to the live today. It is a Monday fun day. And I truly appreciate all the comments, all the likes, all the gifts. For those that came in, help tap the screen. We got to 140K likes. My goal is normally get to 100K as early and as soon as possible, but it's okay. So with that being said, it is Monday. I'll be back Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Whole nother topic, whole nother live. And of course, all is welcome. Men or women are welcome. But the only days that I only host live with all men's panel will be Friday. But you know what? This Wednesday I might just do an all women's platform. I keep saying that, but I never do it. But I might just invite your sister. So I might come up with a topic just strictly for y'all women.
I think I'll skip that because, to be honest with you, we are some of us women are hard in the head. You know, we are really hard in our head. We don't want to take accountability. So I am a person that stay by myself. But I like how the sister that you have on your panel that's really asking or trying to make the women understand within themselves who's to blame, though they wouldn't feel like they would have this animosity in them and going through life with things that they cause on their own. You know, everything I have heard that the brother's been really showing us as women to be truthful within yourselves, you know?
Well, it's not, I'm going to be honest, it's not our job.
Don't be afraid, Miss Patricia, come back.
Yeah.
Your voice is raspy, but it's I feel safe here, you know, and I don't big really a lot of rooms and panels, so.
Sorry for interrupting, because I don't interrupt anyone when they're speaking.
I got you, babe. So let me do this. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, this is a strictly an opinion-based live, where everybody's opinion matters, whether you're right or wrong, whether we agree or disagree. But what we do. I see them, babe. I'm giving my closing. If you don't mind, sweetie, can I give my closing? Thank you. Love you. This is an opinion-based live. Everything that we do is based off opinions, whether we're right or wrong. We can agree to disagree with each other, which is important, which I like people to disagree and agree. But we will conduct ourselves as adults, which is what we always do here. So I truly appreciate everybody that pulled up today. There were some things that were said. There were some topics that was dropped. There was some stuff that was dropped that people may not have knowledge of, but that's okay. We're all here to learn from each other. They say iron sharpens iron. I just say, you know, we just got to keep doing what we're doing and doing it respectfully. That's all that matters. That's what keeps us united. That's what keeps us together. As long as we're doing what we're supposed to do respectfully and having respect for each other, I'm all for it. Yeah, that's your other one.
Oh, how does it get in here?
I don't know. That was me. I accepted it. I'm sorry. It requested. I was like, oh, let me stop playing. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us this morning. I'm a little tired, actually. And I'm going back to the gym in a couple hours. I got to go do my 2 mile, my 1.5 mile walk. I didn't do that yet. So shout out to Rain Love, my wife, of course, the love of my life. We had this discussion when we was taking our road trip, and we was like, let's bring it to the platform. So this is what we did. Shout out to you, babe. Appreciate you always. Shout out to my panel. Shout out to my brother D, my brother Donovan, Wisdom, Top, PR, Stopper, who wasn't here. All the major players, they know who you are. Unfortunately, at this time, I'm about to get out of here. And as I always say, may the love of the Lord be with us all until we meet again. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, you guys have an amazing day. It's Monday. Go outside and have fun. Wherever you are, I hope the weather's beautiful. But we'll be back Wednesday with another hot one. And I think Wednesday is going to be, I'm not even going to tell you what I'm talking about. Just pull up on me.
Sister, do you mind following I would like to speak to you. Can you follow I, please?
You'd like to speak to who?
Are you speaking with me, Miss Patricia?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am.
Whew.
Thank you.
Wishing everyone a peaceful, prosperous, and productive week. Have a good one, guys.
All right, guys, you too. She wasn't talking to me, babe. She was talking about Patricia. Okay. All right, got to go. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Can you guys also follow me? I know I'm African.
Okay. Yo, it's crazy.
All right, so we now have
Thank you for confirming that I'm in the right place.
What the living hell was that today? Oh my God.
I'm trying to
Nigga.
You missed
Nigga, we had nigga moments and all that.
the moment you stepped out.
Nigga
Shit
moment.
took a hard turn, and I said, bro. I started telling people panel closed. He said.